that role more so than Lekra was. But as it stands right now, I think ENCE are more likely to come better out of it.
I'd agree. I mean, short-term, ENCE is by far the strongest one coming out of this one. I think long-term, NiP have done a good roster move out here. It did worry me a little bit yesterday that Plopsky was so affected by the fact that it removed the in-game leader. You'd think to yourself that Lekra, the way he was in-game leading in NiP, was heavily inspired by Threat, the coach, and how he wanted to run the team. So coach is still the same, the 4 other players around him still the same. So to me, it's like changing the in-game leader is a big thing, but the fact that he's so, uncomfortable in this new setup with Hampus already a few days into it makes me think that it has to be long-term for NiP, because right now, as Halvor said, they're not looking good. They've only played, they played 4 maps in this tournament so far, and only one of them event competitive, and it took 38 frags from Nork even to make it competitive.
And, I would love to talk a little bit more about that long-term and sort of the timing of things and rosters. We actually talked to Sergey yesterday about, a 3-month process, something along those lines. Before we do that, though, I think it's only fair that we hear from the side.
Going in against the ENCE, I feel like we have a pretty even skill. I feel like we're a bit ahead of the team play though, since they just added Yampy, and they haven't been able to practice as much, I would say.
To a position where Ariel has to step up massively, and he will answer the call. It's a 1-on-2 now for Nock. At this point, flanking around over towards that player on steps, looking for the 1v1, which will work out successfully. But he has to try and retrieve this bomb, and up against the USB at long range, it's hard.
We've gone through both demos against ENCE. I think they're a really strong team. They have a really strong double up setup, so that's going to be something new for us. We're a strong online team that we're on LAN. We're just as hyped and just as calm, and we're just playing as we should.
Playing as we should. Now, let's go ahead and revisit something from yesterday. Sergey says to me, and actually all of us, as in an interview, he says, you know what, I'm going to keep doing the same thing, and eventually something different will happen as an outcome, as a result. Now, I don't necessarily know that that is the case. Actually, I don't know that that's ever been the case in the history of humanity. However, it might just be for this ENCE squad. If we look at the NiP squad, things, well, they're not as easy either. And, I guess a little further more than that, now that we find ourselves online, I'm really curious about this window of opportunity that is 3 months, that is 6 months, that is 1 year of giving a time for a team to gel and mesh together. This sort of just, it irks me to no end. It really does. And I don't know about you two, but I need.
Yeah, you know what, Trace? I follow your line of thought here, but every team is different. I'd say that NiP, a team that is changing their in-game leader, give them a little more time than you'd give a team like FaZe Clan, for example, who brings in a new guy just to slot out one role. I think changing your in-game leader makes this scenario a little bit different. That being said, though, in this instance, right, you're changing an in-game leader. Coming in is Hampus and Lekra goes out. You're not changing a Glaive from Astralis, who's the best in-game leader in the world. You're changing a guy who was never supposed to be an in-game leader with a guy that is supposed to be an in-game leader. So maybe that 3-month period we normally want to give a team like that only goes down to 2 or 3. I don't know, man. It really. I agree with what you're saying. It's tough to quantify each team the same. I feel NiP though, they should be performing relatively soon.
And I can understand that completely, what you're saying. Every team and every situation is different, moreover. And I guess when I think about it, I'm looking at this and they're asking for more time. Teams want more time to prepare and hone in on their craft. But then obviously on the other side of it, each month is another paycheck, right? So, really at that point, it's kind of a laughing matter. Either way, no laughing matter as we get into the map vetoes. And I'll get off my rant box. We'll start talking about what maps we're going to be looking at here. I think that's only fair, Halvor.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, and for NiP, I mean, they already go into this veto with a little bit of a leg up in the sense that they don't play Dust 2. That's been their perma veto, and I'm assuming it's going to be the same scenario going into this matchup as well, which has been actually one of the stronger maps from ENCE's side. So a little bit of a leeway there, a little treat for themselves. And the fact that going into Train, that's also a comfortable map for this NiP squad, I think they can be pretty happy with how this has panned out so far. Inferno as their own map pick, maybe not something I would have expected just out of the gates, but there we have it. Again, NiP are trying different things out.
Yeah, I guess I like this veto, but I agree with you when you're saying Inferno, maybe not the map you want to be your own map pick. I think Inferno is becoming a map like Dust 2. Everyone plays it to a relatively high level, and Inferno, you don't want Inferno to be your own map pick, right? You want it to be Mirage, you want it to be Train, Overpass, Nuke, one of those maps that is a little bit more complex to master, I feel. Inferno is a map that everyone plays to a high level, so if that is your go-to map pick, you're already evening out the battleground before the game even begins. So if I'm ENCE, having Train as my own map pick, going into Inferno, which is a map they play fairly well as well, I think ENCE should be super happy with this veto. I mean, Mirage is a good third map.
Yeah, Mirage being a good deciding ground, a good proving ground. We're actually going to have to wait back and sit back and get ready for that one. Should we need to go all the way to Mirage, then we will. But we're going to be starting on Train, and what that does is prompt the Twitch chat to get involved, to get activated, to get animated even more so by voting, using everything that you can in Twitch chat. And guess what doesn't work? Hashtag easy for ENCE, not going to count. So don't worry about that one. It's going to be hashtag NiP or hashtag ENCE are going to be the votes that you can cast. We're going to go to a break. We come back. We start to dive into the first map of this series. This is DreamHack Massive Spring 2020, y'all.
Flashbang's affected. They have got through the smoke wall here, but Chris J, he is the final boss of the bomb site.
Now Spiddy and Chris J to keep Mousesports alive.
Oh, Chris! He's found 3. It's down to a 2-on-2. Chris, can he close this with an ace? Oh my God!
Can they actually close this out? Boom, Chris.
Fantastic way to start, and no scopes on him himself. Absolutely saving Mousesports.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you going to want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you going to be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're going to want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
One giant leap for us. Together we'll light the night. I don't ask for much. Your heart is enough. I never want to see you cry. Take me home for just one night. Promise I can make you feel alright. Take me home for just one night. Let me light the fire with your eyes. All night like we royalty. You and I, we were meant to be. Come with me, let me take you right there into the stars. All night like we royalty. You and I, we were meant to be. Come with me, let me take you right there into the stars. Time just seems to fly whenever you're by my side. Baby, I'm here to stay, so cast your doubts away. Don't let your feelings hide. Take me home for just one night. Promise I can make you feel alright. Take me home for just one night. Let me light the fire with your eyes. Oh, like we're royalty. You and I, we were meant to be. Come with me, let me take you right there into the stars. Oh, like we're royalty. You and I, we were meant to be. Come with me, let me take you right there into the stars.
Well, if there's one thing I know for certain, someone's going to need a hug after this game because somebody is about to get their heart broken, their feelings hurt, and moreover, devastated by the fact that they could not win this series. One best of 3 here between NiP and ENCE, and the maps have already been decided. Train, Inferno, Mirage. We are ready to kick this one off in the right way. And we've already asked you to participate in your own sort of way by typing in the Twitch chat, either hashtag ENCE or hashtag NiP. Now, we're going to continue to tally those votes and also look at them in just a few seconds. But moreover, I think it's just about time we start talking about the real deal here, which is what you two think in terms of who's going to win. I say you two, I'm talking about Jacob, I'm talking about Halvor. Who's going to win this series and why?
Well, I mean, for my money, I think ENCE are the team to have the better chance of coming out with a win in this one, but I do think it's going to take all 3 maps. Even though I'm not necessarily overjoyed by the pick of Inferno from NiP's side, I still think they have a pretty good chance of beating ENCE on that map. So I think it's going to take Mirage as well to actually decide a winner for this one.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I have a feeling that NiP is going to turn up in a better shape today. I think the last map yesterday against Vitality, against Na'Vi was a good looking. The problem for me is it took Norg to have 38 frags. It took Rest to have a good game for the first time in forever, and it took Twist to have a really, really bad game for them to lose a game they should have won on Nuke. So let's say the Rest is not playing well today. I don't think there's a chance NiP is going to win. So it takes the entirety of NiP to come together if they want to win, and I'm having a hard time justifying that. That being said, though, I have a little feeling inside my body that, as Halvor said, we're going to 3, and it's going to be a highly competitive game as well.
So, just for clarification, you've chosen ENCE.
Yes.
Just want to make sure.
The production got it. They're smarter than you two is.
Yeah, I mean, I pressed the wrong button last time. I guess it was my fault. Now, before I go on this little rant and I tell you that this is a battle between 2 teams that seemingly have found themselves on crutches. They sort of have broken legs. They're trying to fight it out. It's not going to be easy for either of these teams, but I do have a good feeling this is going to take all 3 maps to figure this one out. I still think, though, that ENCE might edge out NiP considering all of the circumstances around the NiP lineup and sort of the challenges that they're facing. The challenges that they're facing right here in the beginning stages of what is a new face for this team. So yeah, I'm gonna have to side with ENCE. They also sent me a jersey once with my name on it, so obviously that enough was alone.
They bought you.
They bought you straight up.
Yeah, they did. And also NiP sent me some stuff too, but it's at home in Florida, so I can't really get it. Anyway, let's see what Twitch chat thought, because they're never wrong. Now, are they?
They're always wrong, Twist. They're never right. This time around, though, okay, I bow. I take a bow. Twitch chat actually looking kind of decent right here, 72-28. I think me and Halvor are spot on. Honestly, I have to give ourselves a compliment here. I think it's gonna be a close
good
game.
job yourself.
I mean, good job, Jacob. But ENCE is not going to win convincingly. I don't think so. I don't think they have the consistency. They don't have the players. They don't have the playbook. They don't have anything that tells me that they can win a game consistently against NiP. We did see NiP yesterday show up, so it's going to be much, much closer than Twitch chat is thinking, but the majority out there, I think they're right.
Yeah, and you know what? When Twitch chat's right, when Twitch chat riots, we all riot, especially right now when we have to get this game underway. And to do so, I think it's only appropriate that we really give it the justice it deserves. And for this ride, it's going to be Harry and Hugo that I bring in. Thank you so much to Jacob and Halvor. I think that you guys have done a fantastic job in setting the scene. However, painting the picture as it is a man in a ball cap and his friend in a DreamHack shirt. Now, first and foremost, gentlemen, not did you have a good night's sleep, but did you stay awake all night in anticipation for this game?
Yeah, man. And that's why I'm wearing the hat, because that way, right, like the bag's under my eyes, I can just kind of pull it down to around about here, and then you wouldn't even know. And I've slept fine all of a sudden. I can't wait, Hugo.
Yeah, personally, Trace, I've gotten so good at doing my own makeup here at DreamHack that you can't tell that I'm tired. I hope, at least.
You're looking a little pasty, though. I'm not going to lie. Maybe we go back through those makeup tutorials. I'll relink you that one on YouTube. Don't worry about it. Either way, guys, let's get into this matchup. Who do you have? Let's talk about your predictions, or better yet, I'll leave you with that.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much, Trace. Obviously, I'm cosplaying everyone's favorite Watch Dogs DLC, and I can't wait to get into this game, Hugo. ENCE versus NiP. I don't know how you're eyeing this one up. I don't know who you're leaning in favor of.
I mean,
are you agreeing with the desk in ENCE, or are you looking towards the Swedes in NiP? I want to know.
NiP, man, they're 0-2 right now, and in those 2 games, they went 0-2. They haven't impressed me, Harry. I've got to say it. Like, I was loving Letcro in this roster. We casted, this old NiP for 2 months, and they looked really, really good. They're on the rise. They make this change, obviously, with the long term in mind with the change. But the short term, well, that's just not really, the results aren't there. And so I think it's very hard to balance in the favor of NiP when they're taking on ENCE, who have Yampy in the roster, who's looking like an explosive player. And we've already seen ENCE take down Na'Vi yesterday. So I'm leaning in the way of the Finns. What about yourself?
I don't know, man. These Swedes, there's just something about them.
Sitting on the fence as usual.
Something about these NiP boys. With that said, Yampy has looked absolutely incredible. Yeah. And I think him single-handedly almost gets me believing in this ENCE squad.
Well, a good map to do it, Harry, would be Train. It would be the pick of ENCE. So double AWP potential, especially in that second half. Maybe not so much on the T side, but Yampy, he's full of grenades as well. He's full of ideas. He's going to throw some over towards the connector from the T sport. That's a deep smoke landing in the B side of things. Now, NiP triple Ivy setup. They're not going to rotate off the back of that one smoke, but maybe they should be reconsidering that, because ENCE, they're surrounding the B halls. Sunny's got a nice little deep Molotov here, and ENCE are going to go committing into this B bomb site.
Aaron Ali trying to tap down this player at the back of connector. Hampus going to reposition. Now, doesn't feel like we've seen Hampus at 100% yet, which, understandable. He's pretty much brand new in the roster. I want to see a bit more from him in these games. And in this round, he already gets dinked on up. Not the best start for him in the pistol, as he's kind of now relying on the rest of the team to help him close the gap. But Nork, tell you what, he had a phenomenal game yesterday, and he's been looking so damn good. So he picks up a double there. Plopsky coming in with a little bit more, and now just Sergey left. He gets shut down.
It can be so hard to play those B post plants on this map as well, and that's ENCE giving a great example as to why we see so many teams get aggressive when they get the bomb down. They get trapped, right? We have a player in halls, we have 3 on the site, 2 of them are behind Grey Train, and NiP are just able to push from all these different levels of height, left and right, and just basically pinch the ENCE players in the site. So, typically if you're going to get in a situation like that, if you're ENCE, you want to get aggressive. But with Glocks versus USPs, that's the reason they stay passive. They were hoping to run crossfires, and NiP, well, they will run one a little better. Pistol round going their way. And at least the bomb plant for ENCE will provide some sustenance in this second round, some Deagles, a bit of Kevlar as well. And just a little drop down the ladder for Sergey. He won't commit. Going to head back towards B here. Double setup for NiP, but they've just peeled off. Hampus has lost that information. If he rechecks, he might get one dig, but yeah, the timing eluding him right now. Sunny trying to put pressure on that A site on his own right now, and a quick dig from him. He knows Rez is in the pop dog as well. That was spotted earlier on, so Sunny has deep map control, and all that's going to do is peel NiP away from that B bomb site where there's still a player lurking out upper. The kills, though, coming through, and the push aggressively from Hampus. He gets traded, not even traded, doesn't get away with a kill, and this is all over the place. ENCE deceiving NiP, but Nork will come right back towards B and beat the bomb to it, finding Ariel as this package comes down the ramp.
Ooh, nice little dig from your boy Sergey. Now puts this into a 2v2, and this Deagle is lost in for blood. It already had the metallic taste, but, well, didn't go his way, did it? Rez with like 4 bullets from an MP9 mops that round up. Defuse gonna come on in. Twist is celebrating a hell of a lot for a second round on the board, but there it is.
Take what you can get, Harry. They have yet to win a map here in DreamHack Masters Spring 2020, so NiP have had quite the rough tumble.
Something I will say, right, I think a very exciting prospect within this NiP team is if you can have both Nork and Plopsky showing up at like they're, like playing like 100% in the server.
But yesterday, Nork.
Yeah. Yesterday, Nork, and then like a few weeks ago, Plopsky. Just imagine how good like NiP could be.
And that's the thing. No one's doubting the individual talent. Like we know Sweden has so many sick players, and well, you're looking at 5 of them right now. But it's about the pieces of the puzzle. And Counter-Strike, as we know, is more than just hitting your shots. And well, sometimes Harry is playing your own game as well. That is a key part of it. And what happens, he needs.
Hang on, mate. Right. What was the second one? So it's hitting your shot
and playing your own game.
Playing your own game.
So that's what happens. These guys do.
Okay.
Look at this flash.
He's playing his own game here, and he's hitting his shot.
2 for 1.
But he's got to hit a bit more. Oh no! It's all falling apart for him there, but he does still get this 2-for-1 trade, and that is a huge advantage now for NiP.
He also
considering this is the buy round for ENCE.
He also spots the bomb. Sorry, I feel like cutting you off, Harry.
No,
take it back. Man.
It's fine, man. We've known each other a couple of months now. And
quiet.
Twist looking down into the pop dog, and he's going to try and silence Sunny. And he will send him away. Now, this AWP on Alu. Alu has looked pretty sick with the AWP again lately. He's really been popping off. Now we're going to see him moving back to rejoin the rest of the team here outside of B. Rez has already preemptively rotated round, and Hampus is holding close in the site with this MP9. So let's see if this pans out for ENCE. These low HP players, or the low HP player, Singular, gets burnt out by the Molotov, and Hampus is wrapped around. Alu gonna land that shot at the very, very least, but a 1v3 to find and a bomb to get planted, surely. There is no way that Alu can make this one doable.
Yeah, 15 seconds as well. I've seen my fair share of Alu clutches on train, but none on the B-bomb site, unfortunately, and it's just not going to work out for him. NiP taking a nice early lead into this game. That's got to feel good on your opponent's mapping as well. I like this play from Plopsky, pushed upper and beats ENCE to the position. That Molotov is unlucko for Sunny. And yeah, Plopsky gets a great position, gets pop flashed in by Hampus and wreaks havoc there, destroying ENCE. NiP 3-0 up. It's a fast outer play for ENCE in this round. We were waiting for it, and it's finally bestowed upon us. That molly pushes Sergey into the AWP, and Nork was waiting in the wings. We talk about double AWPs, Harry. Well, it's not just ENCE who can wield those weapons. It's NiP too. Nork on the secondary AWP here, alongside Twist. These two are very explosive AWP players. It's really, really nice having a double AWP in this Swedish team. Considering for the longest time, you look at NiP, you look at current Tigre, old NiP. Woo, nice shot. They never had that double AWP potential. So, they didn't even for the longest time really have a technically an AWP, or at least not in the more traditional sense. Well, right now, these Deegs are working wonders. Yampi with another. He's found himself his weapon of choice, but one by one, NiP are biting back. They're picking apart these Ts. Alu dropped. Yampi's got to make this happen pretty much on his own, because Ariel with the CZ is not going to be good at range versus these rifles. Nork tucked, and he's hung out to dry. He's got to turn around. He does, luckily, but missing the timing to Ariel crossing sandwich. He might be able to find Yampi instead. Nice shot. Only Ariel left up. Maybe a one-on-one hit towards the pop dog, but Rez has caught him from T-Con after only a dink on Plopsky. This is a great lead for NiP. I love the setups. They seem to be communicating well. Everyone's knowing what gaps are open and where to hold. And even though ENCE are hitting some blinders with these pistols, it's not going to fall apart for the Swedes. Not yet, at least.
And Rez is still yet to die, so he's having quite the start to this game. This time around with another investment back in, ENCE going to try and set up over towards the A site, and nabbing that early kill from Rez in Pop Dog is going to be the I think that maybe kickstarts this play for the Finnish side. They have pop control, they've got Ariel sneaking on in through Olaf. Alu with his AWP posted up in main, going to get the better of Plopsky. And Nork holding this down with the AWP isn't given a chance at the trade. Now, Twist, you sneaky man. Oh no. Goodness, you're not sneaky at all. You missed that opportunity. And now Alu, turning back around, knows that he's there. Oh, Twist is trying to run the gauntlet, and he will get away by the looks of things. In the meantime, Nork landing a nice shot onto Ariel, deals with the Olaf man. However, this B site has fallen into the hands of the Finns.
Hampus, I think, has realized, but it's all coming too late. The bomb getting planted, and look at Sergey. Look at how deep he is. Hampus needs to be ready, and even if he isn't, Naught can trade. There's the flash. Sergey avoids it, but he can't hit the spray. Jump for Hampus. That is ballsy, and I love it. Sunny and Alu stuck in the post plant with a player on upper they've yet to see. There's the spot for Sunny, but Alu getting tagged back in the halls. He's got to fall off. Sunny finding one, and he can fall back with this Molotov to play the bomb, but they've already tapped it, and he doesn't want to risk running round to upper. He doesn't know if it's a stick, and he has to take the fight. Hampus dropping him. Alu now against the stick. He's missed the shot. Alu, no, not like this. He saves it, but Twist will get the trade, and there's no time for the defuse. Alu, it may have been a whiffed opportunity, but he picks it up at the end of the day. I wonder if there was time for Twist.
I thought there was.
Yeah,
I thought there
Me too.
definitely was.
There was a kit. He didn't have a kit, but there was
site on the bomb and in front of it. Actually, in 2 places within his immediate vicinity.
You know, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I can't say for sure, and I'm going to trust Twist.
I just feel like I've seen the bomb timer ticking down so much in these last few months. Here, right. I feel like, you know, I can mentally picture when there is an. I don't know, man.
I mean, he wasn't exactly on the side.
No,
right? So
no.
He still had
So
to
maybe
run 2
like,
seconds.
maybe that's the worry, right? Like if I run in, I missed it by a millisecond, and then
he saves the orb, and that's the key.
He gets to hold on to that big green gun that we know and we love. Hampus going to be down here towards ramp, and he does have Nork at this side of the map with him. And going to try and hit B quickly, and Hampus only good for 1 at ramp. Now Nork close within the site with this AWP, no option to fall on out, and it's only the tag to Sergey. They have him trapped, and this bomb's getting planted, tempting Nork further afield and into this site. Another kill. Oh, not quite the 3rd. Sergey does get that trade. Now trying to hold down the site. He was tagged for 50 damage with the AWP earlier on, but that bit of damage hasn't deterred him from going aggressive. Maybe it should have. Sunny left in the 1v2, taking a fight in the connector. And now just playing for this bomb. Plopsky dropping that smoke. It's actually concealed his vision. Sunny creeping on in. Oh, this is a messy little round at NiP. There's just not enough time for them. Sunny's won it on the back of playing around this smoke that Plopsky dropped. And so while Plopsky will get away with the orb, there's a 2nd round on the board for ENCE.
Yeah, it's nice to see Sunny have some form right now, right? Like, you know, we saw him yesterday playing against Vitality rather, and he was just absent from that series, it felt. I mean, Halbor was talking on the desk, he was saying that, you know, like think about Sunny before he joined this team, but think about Mouseboard Sunny and how good he was playing. And then he joins ENCE, and, you know, everyone's waiting, ENCE, they need more time. That's a classic line. But yeah, he just really hasn't, you know, shown what he showed us prior to joining this team. He's not stepped up to the level that we know he can achieve. In that series, he went 17-38, bottom of the server in a 2-0 loss. They, of course, only got 15 rounds in that best-of-3 series. So that's kind of a sad story. But Sunny, he showed up here. He's top of the board right now. He's looking good. Clutches that out on the B bomb site. And that's what we want to see. We want to see God Sunny that we know. Quick pause here before we get back into the action. Saved orb is all NiP can muster in this round. And ENCE are already setting a bit of a precedent towards his B bomb site, right? Just popping down ramp round after round. Makes a lot of sense in the last one. They don't have the orb. The utility is a miss. The best call is just to go for a quick B, smoke down the ramp, flash yourself in. We've been seeing players throw that deep con smoke from T-spawn. You could throw the same one from B halls. You could throw it from above Pop Dog. So plenty of options here for ENCE to continue to throw that fake smoke even and try and take the outer yard. Yet to see any Ivy control as well for ENCE. There's loads left in their back pocket that they haven't exploited here. We're 7 rounds into the game, and NiP are broken, and this is where ENCE can start to push the boundaries.
There's only this AWP on Plopsky to worry about. And he has a chance there to take a man down, but isn't able to find the shot. Now, hidden close, you'll see the X-ray. A man going by the name of Alu. Alu's being very, very patient. Just about hidden from this AWP on Plopsky as he goes back. Oh, the timing on that, man. Plopsky has just looked away from Alu's position. Look, Alu is now creeping into Olaf. Plopsky will get 1, and there's a 2nd. So he does catch the timing the 2nd time around. ENCE running into this AWP, the only weapon for NiP in this round. Plopsky had to deliver a lot. With already 2 to his name, there's a chance we can see him continue on this tear. However, he's lost his teammates inside the site, fallen back into a much more passive lie down here. Bomb has been planted. It's for any way back into this round. Now, maybe a kill gets given over to him by this player on the bomb train, and it will. Plopsky with 3 now. Ooh, is almost ready for Sunny. You can feel it coming, but Sunny does locate him and deals with the threat. Now, Nork, we need a hero. Could be this guy. No, but heroes don't do that. So, sadly, the best he can hope for is to hold on to the AWP. Run for the hills. Ultimately, not that bad for NiP again. This is the 3rd round in a row now that they've saved the same AWP forward. So it has literally been in play from the first time NiP had it, and it's still seeing usage today. That is inspirational.
Yeah.
Recycle, folks.
You gotta save money to make money. That's not the saying, but I'm gonna use it. Yeah, if Plopsky hung around,
that's like the main argument for recycling, right?
Yeah. You know, Plopsky, if he hung around there on Ivy after he got that pick, he could have got a lot more value. Obviously, you know, he gets 3 kills in the round. He does everything he needs to, but could have stopped the bomb there. But ENCE, they only went for a solo peek. He never saw the bomb, and so he rotates off with just 1 pick. Oh, nice start from Rez. He finds Alu sat in the same position he was in the previous round, this time with the AWP, but no longer, as the quick kill from Rez will find an advantage for NiP. Nade in the pop, and Plopsky won't stop, but Sergey will make him, as it's not a flashbang. Sergey can see through that, and even though it does a little bit of damage, Sergey's ready to fight. Re-smoke on Pop Dog to deny the rush, but Sergey tries to push ahead of it. He gets punished. Ariel backing out off of that kill. ENCE want nothing to do with this. Yampy, he secured that AWP from Alu, and I can only imagine ENCE are going to go right back towards B with this play. There's only 1 man there. It's Hampus. He's at the back and not even playing inside of the site. So ENCE, they're in a world where they should be able to get a bomb plant, but the big question for NiP is, well, 2 things. 1, does Rez hear anything? If ENCE make any steps, Rez and the Pop Dog is going to know for 100% for sure, right? Because ENCE could be going Ivy. NiP don't know that. So ENCE have to be absolutely silent going here. And also, will NiP rotate another man over? It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Hampus plays deeper to at least put up a kill before the plant comes in. But with a re-smoke, that's really going to stall things out for ENCE. They might just have to go through it and hit upper at the same time. 30 seconds left on the clock. And Hampus waiting for the fins. And there's that rotate. We knew it was coming.
Also, keep your eye on Rez, Mr. Number 1 on the minimap. He'll be shooting up through the Pop Dog any second now as this push comes on in. Hampus and Nork have got to try hold the line at B. Well, they're doing a pretty damn stellar job of it. Yampy, he's going to try and hold on to this sword. Sneaky little devil called Rez in the back line, and he will take it away. That round falls apart for the ENCE side. No money left in these bank accounts either. It's just going to have to be an eco here. It's round number 9 with NiP having a chance to put another up on the board. Flash on Sunny. Where's this going? Maybe a B play with a flashbang to get them in. And to be fair, it's only Hampus here. So, all in all, maybe they can overwhelm him, and maybe they can at least get a bomb plant out of this round. If you do that on a full Glock round, or what is essentially a full Glock round, you got 2 Deagles in play, then you're pretty happy with it on the ENCE side. They are going to head out upper, and with no smoke and just this flash, this AWP of Nork could definitely stand to do some damage. He actually collateral legs players coming out, but yeah, it's just a mow down. And I feel like Nork, man, I sometimes feel bad for him because I feel like he always finds a way to like do maximum damage but not get the kill. Like the amount of times I've seen him get like these collateral leg shots where he'll just tag 2 players for 80 but kill neither of them is unreal.
You'll take the damage though, right? Certainly sets up the rifles better. And you know, this is... Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to say something that I find hilarious, by the way, is like Nork, right? Secondary AWP, he's like donning this AWP, he's looking real good. So he's donning it over Twist a lot of the time, but now they brought out 2 of them. He's 12-4. Twist is 2-3. He just hasn't really seen anyone this whole game. Like,
been on save patrol.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see what Twist can bring to the table once he feels like he's actually getting to take fight. That little flash combo into Pop is great. And it allows Yampy to secure control. For Plopsky as well, he's in a bit of a rough spot.
Wait, stop. Everyone hold. No one say a word. There's a Krieg in the server.
Wow.
Now these Harry, these were uncovered by the bones of the Krieg were uncovered by paleontologists back in Rome in 1954. These are million-year-old weapons used by indigenous tribes back in, I don't even know, before humanity existed. So we're going to see if this old weapon can provide anything. It's a quick tag. Sergey gets legged. Ariel and Yampi dropped as they enter the B bomb site, and that Krieg, oh dear, it's like using spears. It's like using sticks against weapons. It's not going to work wonders. Sunny on his own in a 1-on-4, and it's all falling apart. Dear, oh dear. And they may have gone on some excavation. They may have figured out some archaeology, but frankly, maybe they should stick to their guns. You have your head in your hands, Harry.
Woo.
Oh dear. That's the first Krieg I've seen since
Yeah.
So I just, I was a little bit excited.
I can tell you haven't seen many.
Oh dear.
My favorite part is that it was excavated from Rome, and I think that's what you said, and then used by tribes. And I'm like, yeah, man.
Harry, we ain't talking about 1600s. We're talking millions of years ago.
Okay, yeah. No, I get it.
The
area that
used it.
was Rome, but obviously the dinosaurs.
I was on the fly, Harry. I said a lot of words.
It was called something else.
What we call Rome now, I guess. Either way. Hopefully we won't see any more of those dinosaur bones moving forward.
I think we could. If
there was a map for
if Sergey's done it once, he might do it again.
I'm watching you, Sergey. I am watching you. Beady eyes on my side. 7-3 for NiP. They are holding a considerable lead right now. CT-sided map, of course. Hey, we know Finns love comebacks on train. Harvu, the Finnish esports organization, hailing from Finland, they put out a great tweet recently. I recommend everyone go watch it. It was about how many times they go down like 13-2 on this map and pull CT comebacks. Like, it's actually ridiculous. They've done it like 6 or 7 times. So yeah, definitely a viable option here for ENCE. Even if they get reamed out in this first half, they can certainly pull things back. But right now, they're not looking too good. Walking through smokes into rifles. Plopski's waiting. Ariel might push off of the noise, and, well, he'll come to regret it. Plopski finds a second. On 1-by-1, ENCE are getting picked apart in this round. Sunny and Sergey left up, but not for long.
Wow, ENCE's map pick not really off to the storming start they hoped for. No more Kriegs getting brought on up.
Phew.
Approaching the latter stages of this first half, and it's kind of scary. Outside of that little streak that ENCE were able to go on, they really haven't fielded much in these last few rounds. It's very, very one-sided. This double AWP has just been annihilating ENCE. Hampus is even feeling very confident. He's got aggressive into these upper halls, and he's looking to take a bite out of this ENCE squad. Now, Ariel doesn't want to give him a warm reception over here outside of the pop dog.
That's a great play on words, Harry. Just gonna draw more attention. I know you don't want it, but
I always think the best thing when you make a joke is to let everyone know that you've made a joke shortly thereafter, right?
Haha, did you laugh, guys?
See, the reason why that's funny is his name is Ariel, and you'd put an aerial on the side of your house to get signal.
Quit while you're behind, Harry.
Yeah, let's see, man.
Quick smoke in the pop dog. Plopski can re-enter at any point. If anything, holding those smokes is favorable to you. But not when grenades follow them, and ENCE, well, they've got grenades following them. And Plopski, well, he'll take a bit of a beating, but will relatively... Oh, dear, okay, forget everything I said. Double nade for ENCE. And they cycle them as well. They don't throw them together. They throw them one after the other. Plopski thinks he's safe. He re-enters, and while Plopski is not safe, he's going to get aggressive, though, with 20 health. This is a big risk. Rez fighting Pop instead. He takes that kill to Ariel. Yampi's still in T-Con, so got to be careful about that one. Hampus locking down B with the AWP covering as well. Nork's already dropped Sunny, and that's going to send ENCE back. Yampi backs up to drop Plopski, getting aggressive. Maybe too much for his own good, but at this point, NiP just wanted the information because 10 seconds left. They know ENCE aren't committing, and this is a rough round. If ENCE is saving with 3, and it was 4 guns until a minute ago, yeah, I mean, oof.
That is a really ugly round, because essentially you built that round up to try and do your game plan, right? You're looking to take pop, you're looking to go maid. And then it just takes so long, and the results is so dire on the back of, you know, like trying to get this map control that you just go, yeah, we'll save, actually. We'll just do it again in the next round. So yeah, they've hit the do-over button. However, it does come with its repercussions, and that is that for Sunny and Ariel, they don't really have anything. And also into the next round, Aluin, Yampi, and Sergey, they also don't have anything. If they lose this, that is. So.
Lost bonus is available on the bare minimum. So if ENCE get a bomb plant, everything's fine.
Okay.
They don't get a bomb plant, everything is not fine.
Yeah, that's very much what they're hinging on. And their history with getting this bomb down isn't exactly great. Sergey looking to grab some pop control.
In fact, the only 3 rounds ENCE have won in this game have all been bomb explosions on that B bomb site. So worth keeping that in mind. If ENCE want to actually have a rifle round following, they probably should just go B here. At least if history, you know, tells the truth, and usually those who don't study it are doomed to repeat it.
I do think, though, the problem with that is the way that Hampus has been playing it here and who he's been doubling up in the site with has kind of been changing as this game has gone on. And I think there's a good reason why ENCE have been steering away from B. Because it feels like NiP have kind of found a bit of a solution there. We've even seen them getting aggressive. We've seen them looking more confident at this side of the map for the NiP side. So it's back towards A for ENCE. As we've said, they're very much hinging on a bomb plant. Be able to buy anyway, but it's going to be lacking. And that's the problem. Twist. Finding the man down in Ivy. Players getting out from Olaf, and they're closing the distance. Another missed shot from Twist. Not the 3rd time around, however. And Alu, knife out. Oh, there it is. Take him down, Alu. That's a nice bit of BM from this man. 9 seconds, looking to do any more damage if he can. And Alu is... he's just gotten away. He's just gotten away, but they're hounding him down. Alu, hidden in the corner. He's still going. And he lives to fight another day. What a warrior. Alu.
Look at him.
Yeah. He knows he shouldn't have got away with that. He gets the knife kill. He just goes like full-on Viking, charges in.
Twist tries. Twist tries
to knife back, man. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Respect.
And then Alu just runs away.
Oh no, Twist is not happy, Harry.
Twist has bought out the auto. He's like, Alu, mate, yeah, all right, you've knifed me.
Harry, this is an important game. This is for the elimination. This is for going through groups right now. NiP, they may be down 0-2 inside of this group, but if they beat ENCE, who are 1-1, that would put them at the same score. That would come down, I imagine, to head-to-head and would lead NiP through in this group. And boy, are they showing up. Things look great. At least for the Ninjas. Not so much for ENCE. A slow start on their map pick. They need 5. They need a bare minimum because right now this is the T side of their map pick. They're showing us nothing. They are saving. It's been a few minutes since we had an ENCE round, and they're going to try and find one fast, going with flashes towards the A side. No one committing though.
Let's just remember that Twist is really upset after that night.
Yeah.
Like, he's bought out the auto sniper, and look where he's sitting, by the way. Like, if you want to know, if you want to know whether or not someone is just disgusted, they'll play a position like this with the auto. Twist sitting at the back of Ivy. Spam. Oh, goodness. The nades, the spray. Alu and Sergey are both already almost out of this round. And not to mention, this auto sniper hasn't fired a bullet yet. So if you're ENCE, you don't even know it exists in the map. There's a push from Yampi, but he's only going to get one. Plopsky will get caught looking the wrong way. But guess who's here? Twist and his auto sniper. There is Sunny closing the gap, and at close range, I might even favor Sunny in this one, despite being up against the auto. That said, the smoke down, and Twist just spamming a few shots through it every now and again. It's a scary place to be in the world right now for ENCE.
Twist has a spot to avenge himself, right? To kill Alu. That's exactly what he's watching for. But this smoke, it fades and Sunny's dead. Alu's above blue, so Twist is watching that same line of sight, and that's all that stands in this round.
Twist is
Alu.
Excited.
He's like, guys, no one kill him. This is mine, and there it is. Vengeance, it tastes sweet.
Knife kill didn't feel so worth it now, huh? Auto's out for the boys. Twist putting down 3 in this round.
Oh dear. He didn't move, by the way. All three of those kills, he's
from
just
this
sitting in the same spot. He's a turret, Harry. He's a sentry, and he's actually going to drop it, which I'm personally against. But I understand why he would, he would not want to run it back-to-back rounds. I love it in the last round of the half for any side because you will know the opponents can't pick it up and use it against you moving forward. So yeah, Twist, he doesn't want to be predictable. He knows ENCE might go faster, and so he pulls out the AWP. And ENCE, well, they've gone faster, so he's going to need this AWP. Hampers trading onto Ariel inside of this A-bomb site. He's swapped back with Nork. Yeah, that bomb's running B, and NiP have no idea, but there is one man here, Nork, with a single kill. That's more than you can ask for, considering the fact he was mid-rotation. But Sunny has gotten very deep. This is something ENCE have struggled to do in these post plants.
I love this from Sunny. He's hiding in this smoke. The smoke that NiP threw onto the Molotov to get out through connector. He's just hidden in it. And has now snuck through to the other side. Alu is even alongside him, and they do deal with Plopsky. It's actually Sergey with him, rather, but Twist is in the site. There's no one in position to actually keep an eye on this. Twist, if he sticks it, he wins this round.
No.
They can't get close enough in time, surely. Oh, up on top of the train, Sergey flies on up, and actually with a bit of parkour, he does get there in time. It's 4 on the board for ENCE, 11 for NiP, and this game, it's been madness. You don't want to miss it. Join us for the second half of play in just a moment.
Wasn't looking for love tonight. Wasn't looking for love tonight. Wasn't looking for love. Wasn't, yeah. I mean, wasn't looking for love. Wasn't, yeah. Don't tell me no secrets we don't understand. We deal with the answers when we don't have a plan. Nobody gave me a lesson in love. Every day searching cause we never had enough. I was lost until I saw your face tonight. Standing on the outside, drawn into your paradise. Wasn't looking for love tonight. Wasn't looking for love.
Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your Finns, because ENCE, they need your support. 4 rounds on the T side of their map pick, and NiP, well, they're bringing the heat here in this series. Inferno's our second, and it might be approaching sooner than we expect if NiP can keep a streak here coming into the second half. ENCE is certainly looking for a pistol round as Sunny buys the kit smoke for that B retake, and ENCE go 4 men with the armor. We got Sergey solo B, and NiP hiding in T-Con.
And a double pop dog push here from ENCE. Now, this is a little bait and switch that teams try and run. The first guy peeks, you get the info that Yampy is here. Now, Alu's going to keep holding the ladder. And essentially, oh, wait, they both try and exit. They both try and get out. Oh, dear, they could get found in the open. The molly just went in, so they're probably pretty happy that they made that decision to get out of there. And Alu will deliver in the pistol. The double pop dog pros of Alu and Yampy. They've left it in a 1v4. For a man named Nork. Now, he's shooting at the feet and then finds the head. 1v3 with the Glock in his pocket. He's trying to rock it. Does get spotted, even tagging down Sunny a little bit further. Nork isn't the kind of guy you want to go give fights to. He's a bit of a brawler. Maybe a bit of a baller as well. Closing the gap, trying to get into this site. And down goes Sunny. Oh dear. You do not want to poke this bear because this bear bites back. Now 1v2. And this bomb down over towards main. Nork looking to do this. 1v2. Crossfire semi-set up between Pop and main. And thankfully, Sergey's there to regain control of the beast. So that round goes the way of ENCE.
A sigh of relief as they don't bottle the 4-on-1 to pick up the pistol. That's got to feel good for ENCE. And that rotation as well, you mentioned it. That molly was just about to land in Pop Dog. You know, if there's a world where that molly lands, and if NiP have a player above and ENCE shoot up the ladder, they're going to get wrecked. Like, either way. But they escape as the molly lands. They take the fight. And of course, the USPs come out on top. We see how difficult those Glocks can be to maneuver with, even in the pistol rounds.
The one thing I will say is, like, that Molotov going into Pop, in my eyes, would, like, if ENCE was still in there, they would have probably escaped up the ladder as opposed to running out. Safe. And there was no one up at B. Like, if anything, it would have got them a lot of information that B was clear.
I think they knew at that point.
Yeah, so interesting round. Now, Sergey, he wants to impress us with these eco kills, and we'll only be impressed if you get all 5. So, yeah, nice try. 3 ain't bad, but we're going to secure the bomb plant at the very, very least.
It's a good round for NiP. On $1 of investment, and they get quite the victory, a kill and a plant. But ENCE, they're going to be coming in with everything. I wouldn't be surprised if they just upgraded here and didn't even want to run the bonus round. But then again, you're going to have confidence in your map pick. Maybe just get Sergey on an M4, 3 rifles, 2 SMGs. That's not really going to hold you back as long as you play like the SMGs off spawn and try and get one in Pop, something like that. And yeah, okay, they buy up the AWP. I like that as well. So 1 upgrade and 2 SMGs kept here for the side of ENCE. Sergey going to go inner, got an Ariel, con side, and 3 back towards the Ivy, at least initially. NiP, do they want to burst quick? Yeah, it looks like it. Plopsky is down the Pop instantly, and he can't see a fight. Playing off the back of this opening kill, but Alu's already shown his AWP and is watching towards Plopsky's position, so he won't be re-aggressing. I like this double setup on Ivy. Sunny's hiding in the smoke. Yampy's first contact, when he shoots, Sunny swings. That's the game plan here. And the flash coming through. Yampy might get blinded, but here's Sunny to help. Oh dear. Won't check it. Nork goes for it. And oh my, Nork. That is excellent. That is pristine. He's looked so good in this game. Doesn't matter what gun he has.
He's been looking just like a great pickup overall, right? Like this, I don't know, man. I'm kind of just getting used to Nork dropping like 28 kills every game. It's wild. He's been great.
And right there is why we need to give Hampus time, right? Because, like, you know, these guys have played together, and Nork, he certainly wasn't like this in his debut opening games for NiP, but as he's become more comfortable and accustomed to the roster, he's certainly coming to his own and shown what he can get away with.
Yeah, I do think it's worth bearing in mind, right? Like, this wasn't a situation where NiP were looking for like a huge short-term bolster to their team, right? It's actually planning for the long term. They're thinking ahead. And like, we're talking like, really, like, with how they're speaking about it, like, they're looking like at least like a year in advance about making this team competitive, because they're focusing on, you know, when Threat is no longer allowed to communicate and having a strong IGL presence. So yeah, realistically, like, this is a real plan for the future from NiP.
Yeah. At least, you know, what Dredd said in that interview the other day, all that tells me is that he had to help Lekr0 a lot with the calling. That's all that looks like from the outside. You know, there's only so much we can know from the information we're given, but it looks like, yeah, Lekr0 needed help. And of course, that's fine, right? Lekr0 wasn't an in-game leader. He was a fragger turned in-game leader. So, of course, you know, that's different. Right now, NiP are slaughtering, and they're on 3 kills in this round and a guaranteed win with a bomb down. Alu is saving, and, well, he's doing his best at it, but they're actually not going to hunt him. They're not going to look for the orb. Not yet, at least. They want to get the man out of the sight. The jiggle peek, the bait for Rez. Oh, dear, miss shot from Alu. They're getting close. They're getting uncomfortably close. Not dead, but it could be a trade. Even with the hops, he can't escape his fate. Plopsky finds another, and NiP up to 12. That's a nice start to their first rifle round.
And, like, you know, I think this whole Lekr0 thing is an interesting talking point. I think for him as an individual, I think being entrusted with the IGL role and having some time where he was the IGL and NiP presenting good results, even if it's not something he looks to keep up, I think it's definitely increased his stock as an individual, right?
I mean, Astralis tried to get him.
Yeah, and it's definitely, on top of that, I imagine, opened his eyes to a lot more that goes on in the server, right? Like having an understanding of what the IGL feels, how you can kind of assist them, what information is helpful, you know, things like that. All just kind of contributes to making him an even more well-rounded individual. So I can't wait to see what the future holds in store for Lekr0.
Sure.
Now, let's focus on the NiP and the server. Sergey tries to go aggressive with Rez. He's going to come to regret that. There's only these few rifles left standing, and Yampi's going to put his to stellar use down at Ivy. He puts this in a 3-on-3, but does get traded. There's another kill from one of these M4s. This time it's Ariel ringing out down in the pop dog. Still holding on for this B-Rap, being very, very low. He gets dropped, and it's all left onto Nork in a 1v3 up against a partial investment from ENCE. I mean, it was like a full buy, but they only had, you know, a couple of rifles in it.
Sergey gets hit by the flashbang getting aggressively, and that not only stops him, but makes audio. Valve put out a little patch recently, the other day, and it claims, obviously it has a bug in it, which I'm sure you've seen.
I've seen that.
But aside from the bug, you know...
The bug isn't great.
Yeah, the bug isn't great.
Wait,
forget beta test. Just quickly, because it's a rifle round, they've hopefully put a stop somewhat to grenades slowing you down, and you know, while they hit you physically. But it does still make noise, and so Sergey, that gives away his position. The player above B is able to hold and take him down.
Yeah, the bug that we're referencing is that sometimes the nades will hit you 15 to 16 times, do 15 damage. So, you know, like Valve, they've kind of given with one hand and they've taken with the other.
It's classic coder's life, right? You know, you
try and
one line and everything breaks.
You try and make everything better, and then it's like, oh, the problem is now worse.
I mean, we fixed a small problem, but we created an even bigger one. That's a shame, but hopefully it will get sorted soon.
Sergey's got a big problem.
Looking to sort this B site, and Sergey, he's doing it with a bit of a fight. 2 kills, and the bomb dropped down the ramp. He's ready for that repeak of Rez, and well, Nork, Twist, they're abandoning this one. They say, you want the bomb, you can have it. We're going to go elsewhere. Now, it is too early in the round for NiP to guarantee a save, so they should still be focusing on taking some players out in this round. Nork is looking for that on the A side, but 2 players still hang around because despite having the bomb, they know that NiP could and should be anywhere but B, because Sergey's pushed up and cleared the ramp. So Yampi, he's going to consider things. He's going to go check out what T-Con has to offer. And if he does, the Shadow advantage should give that kill to Nork. Ooh. There it is. Twist didn't care at the minimark. He went to E-spawn, just saved, went, yeah, you know, you can hunt if you want. I'm all right. I want this AWP. It's actually, funnily enough, the same AWP from round 3 in the first half, Harry. They just kept it going all game, even in the pistol. We didn't see it, but it was there, in spawn, waiting. And that's where NiP are right now, 12-8 up, feeling pretty good. But ENCE have recovered with another rifle round their way, 2 in a row, and the money's starting to build, friends. So this is where we know they can pull a comeback, and NiP need to have their wits about them. They are not out of the woods yet.
With that save, they've full invested around it. They want to try and get the money on the same page. They're bringing quite a lot with them into this round. And Looking like they want to try and attempt this B site again. Now, Sergey, he dealt them a pretty nasty hand last round here at holding down B. This time he finds himself getting up into heaven on the ladder and holding this from the upper position. Alu, they're getting out through ramp, and he will readjust in time to find one. They deal with Sergey right away, and so this B site, the plant, will come in at a bare minimum here for NiP. They're in a bit of an awkward spot, and Alu can see the legs. Hampus does still get the bomb planted. It's a bit of damage, and that's going to help out in the long run. Sunny, quick in this round, sprinting into the site, trying to shut these players down. Hampus not normally an AWPer, and he's going to have it stripped away from him. Rez left up in the clutch, 1v2 required, and he gets shut down. ENCE, a 9th round on the board as they are closing the distance in this map. They're getting it closer.
Yeah, unfortunate for Rez there. That smoke lands on the bomb before he even, gets the chance to peek. He has a Molotov, he has it available, pretty standard position, but he hears it and he goes, oh, well, I have to take the fight. They've already tapped it. There's no way to know.
So NiP have enough money to buy here, but I want to see a partial with a hero AK, and that's what we're going to get. Plopsky donning it. He had 5k at the beginning of this round. The rest of the gang partially investing. And this is great because you can let Plopsky kind of pressure and try and get you these kills. And then any rifle that's dropped that finds its way into these armored players' hands is very, very effective. Yampi going to be donning this secondary AWP down here towards Ivy, but Rez is so fast. He just sprints in with the Tech 9. Alu in with a response. The kills are going back and forth, and now Plopsky and Nork left up in this 2-on-3. Alu is re-wrapped in towards CT, and as he tries to peek to get that trade kill from Plopsky dealing with Ariel, he gets shut down by this AWP on Nork. This partial investment with a hero AK might just work for NiP. The AK is delivered in spades. Nork's gotten himself one, and it all falls onto Sergey again. B-site rotator. He spotted that the bomb is over at main, so he knows that these two fellas in Ivy have to come and retrieve that package. They're not able to trade that kill, and so Sergey now in the 1v1 deals with Plopsky as well. And while it's close for NiP, they don't get it over the line.
Great round for Sergey, but I want to talk about how NiP basically bait Yampi into his own death there. They throw that Molotov from T-Con that lands, here around the corner, as you can see. And what that does, Yampi, he spots one on Ivy, but then he sees a molly, and in his head, he thinks, oh, they're throwing that molly so they can run up Olaf as fast as they can. No one was running up Olaf. Yampi goes for the check, and that's when NiP speed up Ivy and shoot him in the back because he's looking the wrong way. That's a good way of deceiving your opponent, giving them the information that they think they have. But, well, it's all a ruse, it's all a game. And NiP, they will lose the round, meaning ENCE are up to double digits and, well, building upon that very point. Rez getting picked up, and this CT comeback that we prophesized, Harry, is here. It is materializing. ENCE, a couple of kills away from an 11th, but Plopsky, he just won't give up, man. 1 point of health, he's on his second. Twist can drop the AWP, and he has. Sergey in a 1-on-2 again. He's got to do it once more here for his side, and they don't know he's out inside the site. Oh, Twist trading, and that's a big kill coming through. Him and Plopsky finding the round and saving the AWP. That's what Twist is best known for in this series, it feels. Great round for the Ninjas, considering they were down and out almost in that round. Recovering well and dealing with that double B rotation, and leaning towards the wrong site for a change. And look what that's done.
Yeah, this is the downside of all of these rounds, like getting so close.
4 in a row for ENCE, and this happens.
They've gone for the buy. The AWP's in the hands of Alu, MP9 for Sergey, but the rest of the gang are really lacking. Heavy A-site lead.
Okay.
Yampi.
Cool.
All right, mate. Guess. Yeah, sure. All right. Ariel's going to try and grab the AK, but Nork is watching. There's a second man here up close in the form of Sunny. Nork, usually a man with like otherworldly game sense. Will he be ready for Sunny up close? Doesn't seem like it, especially not with Yampi drawing the attention in. As has dealt with the only man at B. So NiP, they're just going to fall into this B-side take. Now with Alu on this AWP, staring down Ivy. He hasn't seen anyone, and they hear the smokes going in towards B, so NiP being very discreet in this sense, know that it's the B play. Rez moving in through upper, and he just missed timing there.
I think he saw it. I think he
get picked up by Twist, yeah. Alu and Sunny, 2-on-2 with this scavenged AK and the AWP on Alu. Are they able to get back into this retake? This is high risk, high reward. They go for it and they lose. They've got no money up against 14. Popsky left, spotted at ramp, not able to connect that spray. Sunny picks it up, and the defuse will come through for ENCE.
I love that from ENCE. They know there's so much time on the clock, they can just sit back and wait. Popsky's going to feel the need to play aggressive, and what Popsky's doing there is trying to find a timing. He's trying to predict ENCE getting onto the site and like looking upper or looking at the bomb about to tap. He's getting there in his mind, hopefully a second or two before the tap and trying to catch a player off guard. But, you know, ENCE was just holding. They knew that, you know, 2-on-1, that's his best bet, to get aggressive, to force a 1-on-1. And, yeah, it won't happen. Yampy with some disgusting deegs, as he often does, and he's back on the AWP alongside Alu. The SG 553 was developed about 1990. It's older than everyone in the game. It's more modern than the modest spear. I don't know if I could agree with these fake facts, Elliot, but you know, it's fine. You can push your propaganda here. We all know where the Krieg really came from. 13-11 right now. ENCE making this happen. Another round for NiP, a single round, instantly recovered by ENCE. And NiP have had 2 in this half, and that is it. And now that this double up is being done by ENCE, that's just going to make matters worse. NiP, they don't have utility and they have no armor on the AWP. This has got to be a B play for NiP. They just don't have anything else to play with. It's going to be Nork trying to sell a fake down Ivy here. Sergey's pushed up a B as a double setup. ENCE, they have so many more tricks up their sleeves, setups they haven't even tried yet, and things like these will really catch NiP off guard, because even if they kill Sergey or either of these players, why would you expect 2 players in the same position? You wouldn't. And so that's only going to bode well for ENCE here. Nice shot from Nork, man, against the AWP as well. It was a double AWP on Ivy. What a sweaty setup from ENCE. Oh dear, I think both players got spotted in upper. That's a big problem. Now NiP know, but there's at least a kill coming through. Popsky hangs around. He knows there's a second player in position, and they're going to go for it as well. Popsky wide, and he does find the frag. Twist is on 2, but he's still stuck with the AWP. Ariel's dropped the bomb down on ramp, and they need it back. But Rez getting dropped in the air by Alu. Twist on 2 with 1, looking for a second, and he's got it. NiP, they push it over the line, 14 rounds. That is disgusting. And you can see the look on Alu's face as well. He doesn't feel good. I don't blame him. Twist, that was so quick, that was so key. And after some excellently placed shots by ENCE, they are going to lose the round. Damn.
Oh, an attack pause for NiP. They don't want this to be one of these games where they were in the lead and they get it so far in their advantage, only to have ENCE claw their way back in.
That being said, right, NiP, they get out of that round with 1 alive, so it's not like they're rich, right? You know, 2 SMGs into a rifle round. I say rifle round, and don't have a single rifle unless you count the scout. Alu, no armor behind it. Pistols and MP9s. 2 players trying to throw the same smoke, but Nork will get it down. And NiP are going to run towards B again. Why not? It's worked wonders, but so is Yampy, and he's playing close as well. Oh dear, no flash. He gets away with 1, but that is it. Rez doubles up on the opener, and with that Molotov, that's going to cut the key point of rotation out for ENCE. They have to go towards the backtracks. And I mean, I'm not holding out for this if I were ENCE.
Yeah, with these players so aggressive as well, the round is just basically undoable, and ENCE know it. They are looking like they want to try and retreat out of this one and hold this very limited arsenal into the next round. NiP, I love that, right? They call the attack pause, and in that, right, they probably take some time to just make sure everyone's on the same page, hyper-focused, and they don't change the strategy. They go just right back into B, a rinse and repeat. And that's great, because like it's very, very common on the back of these attack pauses to see teams like really change how they're going to approach the round, right? And so ENCE, they go in with like this, not even like a heavy A-lean, just the standard 3 players there, 2 players up close to B, and they get blindsided by the aggression, this decision to just come back in with another B play from the NiP side. 4 rounds difference between these 2 squads, and ENCE, they've got to begin this 4-round comeback with a very, very weak investment around these couple of saved armored players. Hampus fast out through main. He's already deep down through Olaf. He's beaten ENCE into the A-bomb site almost. He is so deep, and no one even seems aware of this. No one is even considering it. Hampus, he could end this whole round on the flank, but Oh, that's a little
dear.
ugly. Luckily enough, someone deals with Alu. Ariel tries to sneak above Plopsky. Doesn't work out, and Plopsky with a double opener. This round might be drawing to a close, and with it, this map, indeed it is. NiP, they're going to get it over the line. They take ENCE's map pick away from them, and with Inferno around the corner, NiP, they're feeling very, very good about that one.
Yeah, that was a great game for NiP, right? You know, credit to ENCE for the comeback. They put a good few rounds on that CT side and make things close, but NiP, they had the solutions, they adapt, they overcome, and they pick it up. And now moving to Inferno, maybe question marks on NiP on that map, but I'm actually remaining positive, right? Not only are NiP looking good and the individuals are showing through, like Twisted Nork, etc., and even Plopsky in that map, but Inferno, that's such an easy map for an in-game leader to you know, slot into and cool. It seems pretty basic. Everyone knows what they're doing. It's akin to Dust in that sense. So I think NiP is set up very well inside of this group stage. They could still survive DreamHack Masters. We'll have to wait and see, though, because ENCE, they're coming back with a vengeance in that second map. Join us after the break.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you gonna want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you gonna be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're gonna want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
Yeah, my brothers all trap. From legit to their packs, know my brothers make racks. Know my brothers make racks. Reinvest and make back, kinda up and then stack. Kinda up and then stack. They ain't really on that, man, them brothers love chat. Man, them brothers just chat. Evidence disappear like a snap like that. Fabricating like you're shutting it down. If you call that, know your head just spun round. Them man are there for money talking that sound. Mute sign language wouldn't help them work out. Man, I bossed myself a pro for how long? Been in the beans coming 9 years done. Been doing what the nickel man are now on. Another 9 other levels, I'm gone. In a spaceship, Lord knows I've been patient. Putting work like a grave shift. 05 running with my brothers on the pavement. Whipping the re-up, stuck in the agents. Back to the yard without something so fragrant. Smell it on road, though we had it in the basement. Tried to conceal it, but it's too blatant. Pit for the pagans, making the statements. Man, it's all mud. So mud. Mine only got raided, all for the packs. Cody's being was a rat, trying to get a man back. But you don't do it like that, almost got a man rap. Man, I swear it's all facts, so my brothers all trap. It's all facts, 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 my brothers all trap. My brothers all trap. From the jet to the packs, your brothers all chat. Your brothers all chat. Get ready on that, your brothers all trap. It's all facts, my brothers all trap. Yo, it's all facts, my brothers all trap. Yeah, my brothers all trap. From the jit to the packs, know my brothers make racks. Know my brothers make raps. That's why they bet he's all fat. Tell them haters all rat. Tell them haters all rat. To Popo, we not chat. Let them others do that. We let them others do that. And trust we'll get that done back. No hands will get slapped. Got brothers making money off roads. It's ironic trees making paper though. Got brothers making dough off O's. They getting bread and I ain't talking about loads. Got other brothers making P off clothes. Come from a cover, we don't heave on hoes. Got other brothers making P off shows. Getting that P through high fives makes foes. And it's flagrant. From our crafts how we made it. Hit a Becca Kai cake and there wasn't a way, so a brother had to page it. So it was either that or leave a life on the slave shit. Never seen a handout, man had to take it. Feeling like your life had some more forsake it. We ain't like them others that can fake it to make it. Where we coming from, brothers make it or break it. Man, it's all mad. Got brothers locked up, couldn't handle a slap. And I swear down it was Biden who started that.
Well, where there's a pulse, there's a sign of life, and where there's a sign of life is also simultaneously where you'll find the ninjas in pajamas who have come alive on the map of Train, even though there were some twisted, knifey antics there from Alu, of course, as we see on the highlights. NiP do pick up this first map, and they do it 16-11, and the first scoreline, well, it's going to run straight in the way of NiP right away. The first half dominant, 11-4 at the half even. And we'll continue to look at this game, examine what is the matchup that is NiP versus ENCE on the first map of Train. Of course, to do that, I've got Halvor, I've got Jacob. These are my, I don't even know how to properly describe you guys. I think I pretty much... Yeah.
Couldn't be without us.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. I also think that you were one of the first two people that I started doing this with, so it's only appropriate that we're doing this all here this morning together. Now, more importantly, NiP doing it big time in the server. Jacob, what's going on?
I mean, we talked about it in the pregame. When you look towards NiP, you want 3 different players to perform if you want them to be a good team, and that is exactly what happened. Nork having a monster of a game, putting up 28 frags, 100 ADR, and he went 5 for 6 in opening duels. That man was all over the place, and especially on a map like Train, I think you need a strong AWP player. You need a player that is able to move around the map and be, versatile, and he was that. He has the most kills on the server, most damage, most assists, most AWP kills, most first kills, and he has the best rating out of all the players as well. He was all over the place.
He really was, and again, like just to further go on with what's positive for NiP. You mentioned the fact that within this 3 you also had Plopsky, who was also pretty successful in his opening duels as well. And I guess at the times where he would potentially fail at that, NiP actually had players in place to actually trade on it more often than not. So just from start to finish, this is a much more, I guess, fluent NiP side, more synergized team than what we've seen initially in the group stages, and that's obviously a great sign. And even the 2 players we haven't really mentioned yet, Hampus and Twist, they deliver when needed. Twist is the one who comes out with the 1vx situations on the server as well. So even though he's not called upon often because ENCE pretty much forgot about the area around Ivy, he does, come through in the clutch when needed.
And I look at this and I look at the NiP side and I think, you know what? Maybe they got their ducks in a row because they got their ass handed to them yesterday by Vitality. And certainly that's the way it looks. It looks like NiP a completely different game face today and a different game plan, moreover. And it seems to be effective thus far.
It does, and it's down to what Halvor and I was trying to say, right? You have your 3 star players actually performing like star players. One player we have not talked much about as of late is Rez. I think he, like 3 years ago, many thought he was going to be the next big star in Sweden. He was supposed to be, the dudes who took over from Get Right and Forest. He was being brought into NiP in order to do that. He did super fine in the beginning, but the past 2 years have been a big disappointment for him personally. Now, the past 3 games we watched him play, he's been playing like the rest we know. So if all of a sudden Hampus can find a way to enable him on the server, then NiP goes from a team that has 2 star players to potentially 3, and that's when you get to become a good team. So it's good to see. It's a healthy sign, and I think NiP right now is looking pretty solid, to be completely honest with you.
Halvor, I just want to take off the back of that and look at the fact that Rez is actually one of those longest standing members still here within the lineup. And that even being said or even thought about has got to be a weird thing.
Yeah, I mean, right now you're almost looking at, let's say Rez, moves out of this NiP lineup. You're looking more at like a Gamer Legion 2.0 lineup than an actual NiP lineup in a weird sense. So yeah, no, he's one of the few standing. And I mean, he's a good enough player to the point where he should be remaining in this lineup for a long time to come. And I think, again, with the upswing in form, as Pimp mentioned, there's no reason to look for a replacement. He should be pretty much the staple of this lineup.
Let's look forward to the upswing of performance that has to carry over by NiP. They have to take it into Inferno now, and then this being their map pick, you have to think if you're NiP, okay, I'm a little bit more comforted. I'm a little bit more comforted going into this second map.
Yeah, and I think NiP should feel very comfortable right now. Inferno is a great map for them. You look towards ENCE, you look at the players right now, you need to see more from Sonny, you need to see more from Sergey, and you need to see something from Elo. Elo is one of the best CT-started AWP players in the world, at least he used to be, around the arch area. So if I give the crowd of the Twitch chat out there one thing to look out for, it's Elo finding impact with the AWP. That could be enough for ENCE to make this competitive.
Cowboy, any last words?
No, again, we just need to see the individual talents show up. They didn't do so very much in bigger parts of train. So if they can't do that, this is going to be a 2-0 for NiP.
Yep, and that is what it's smelling like. Yampy and company looking to bounce back on the second map. We go to Inferno, potentially to decide the series. And ultimately, what is the last day of groups here at the DreamHack Masters Spring 2020? We'll be right back after this break. We're going to jump into the second map without any hesitation. BRB, everybody.
Pressure's rising deep inside it. Feel the tension. There is so much you do to me. I could mention. I'm high, sparks fly, even when I touch your shoulder. I feel your heartbeat, and I wanna take you over. I wanna take you. There's something taking over me. Lust, what it is, what it is, what it is, what. Lust, what it is, what. Passion, growing every time we feel inspired. On a mission, and I don't wanna till we're tired.
Welcome back to DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. We have our second map of the day in our first series. It's ENCE, of course, taking on NiP. NiP a map up right now. They took ENCE's pick of Train, and now we head to their choice of Inferno. With the new endgame leader, things are starting to warm up for NiP convincingly, and we like what we see, Harry, but will that continue moving into the second map?
Well, Hugh, I can't really see through these sunglasses indoors, so I'll take them off as we get ready to head in to the wonderful map that is Inferno. Betway, they're putting this one in favor of NiP, and I think justifiably so with how the Swedes have been looking today. Ooh, lots of nades purchased up here on Rez and Plopsky. This fast push down through mid from Sergey, well, it's going to get smoked off. However, while they're so busy looking at this mid flank, Alu and Yampi both go aggressive down Banana, and if you've blinked, you've missed this round. I hate to break it to you, it's over. Yampi with a double, and ENCE aggression just everywhere.
Yeah.
They push every extremity, and they find the round on the back of it.
It looks like NiP were ready for that as well. You see that? It looks like NiP were ready for that as well because, yeah, they had, like you said, loads of nades, smoke flash nade on 2 players, and they see the push coming in, and they know if they die, if either of these nade players die, their entire game plan is out of the round, and so they have to smoke mid, they have to smoke ENCE off, essentially giving them like fights for free. They get to fight ult, they get to fight Banana, and ENCE just pick their battles really well. So yeah, that's a nice round, and ENCE, they're not going to stop with the aggression either. The confidence is flowing. You could taste it in the air. Alu's pushed down to T ramp. He's going to back up eventually with a smoke at his feet. And NiP, they wrap ult to come back down middle. With a smoke down in mid, they're not going to get punished by ENCE, luckily enough. But Sergey's holding from a range. Oh, Sunny, rather, is holding from a range with that FAMAS, trying to bait them into Alu's close position. Sergey, however, is under porch and has support from Yampi, but he's about to get smoked off, leaving Sergey hung out to dry.
Oh, Ariel's keeping the apartments under wraps, but now that he's lost his short player, he had to rise to the occasion, and he will. 3 in the round for Ariel, and a second on the board for ENCE.
I'm trying to work out who that is. Second from the right. I think it's Ariel far right, and there's a dude with a hat. I'm guessing it's Yampi, but I don't know. Just because after the pistol round, he was celebrating, putting his hands in the air. Either way.
I mean, I like to think their prac room like blares the easy for ENCE music kit after every round ends, just to keep the squad motivated.
If their games didn't already.
Oh my goodness, that nade does so much damage while it only kills 1 player. It's brought a bunch of others down into a very vulnerable realm, but somehow, I don't know, the P2s have been able to mop up both players at B, and ENCE, they might let this full eco with, you know, just a couple of pistols upgraded into from NiP slip through the net. This is where that nade damage is going to be so valuable though, right? Every one of these players is pretty much a bullet away from death, with the exception of Plopsky. Ariel and Sergey aren't to know that though, and that's what makes this 2v4 scary. They're looking to get stuck in, but finally the kill presenting itself. Now they go, now they activate, and they start to deal with these incumbent NiP players back in the site. Plopsky not able to find anything. The only man with any HP in this round, Nork, spamming. There we go.
Spraying and spamming.
Spraying and spamming. He's doing a combination of the two. That's
staying. Either one. Plopsky, he needed that kill in the pit, right? Like, there was a bait and switch. He has his teammate fighting. Like you said, he's got HP. He's hiding. He's hoping they won't check him. They don't hard check him. They swing it, and he had a chance. If he hits the immediate dink onto Ariel there, you see he's gonna have a chance to win the round in a 2-on-1. But without it, well, yeah, like you said, you know, the last player smoked off a Banana. Not going to happen. Either way, that was an eco for NiP, but they should never have made it that close. So they've still got to be happy with that round. And luckily, ENCE had rifles on rotation. If those were less of the rifles, those are UMPs, I don't think ENCE would have closed that 2-on-4 retake. So now armed to the teeth are both teams. We have Twist on the primary AWP over Nork, but honestly, that's fine. Nork looked excellent with a rifle as well, back on train. Alu's taken his over towards the long side right now. NiP not really pressuring the middle area. Looking to flash up Banana, not committing though. ENCE playing passive in this site. They're going to retake some control though. Molly smoke thrown down by Yampi to push the top of Banana, and in the meantime, NiP go, that's fine, you can have it. We'll have mid. They smoke long, they cut Alu off, and they leave it down to the 2 inside of the site playing a crossfire. Ariel and Sergey, balcony and site, waiting for this commitment. Oh dear. Hey.
Ooh. Still, through the same gap, he is able to get it the second time around. Man advantage taken now for ENCE, and the rest of NiP try and pull the trigger on this site push. They are are getting sent away right now. These players not budging, and no kills coming through in favor of NiP. Nork gets tagged on the jump peak. Oh, he's in a 1v3, 10 points of health, and he will get mopped up there. It's 4 on the board for ENCE.
Yeah, NiP get very scared there of Sergey for some reason. They, they smoke off Alu on long with a motor smoke. They kill Ariel Balk, and then Sergey gets one. He kills Plopsky in the site. And NiP, they have 2 players just sitting there in the corner, like jiggling and wiggling and waiting for a moto play and not trading Sergey. In that time, while Sergey's drawing their attention, ENCE push 2 players through the moto smoke and just kill NiP stuck in the site. NiP, they need that trade, right? If you're playing A on this map, really, off Inferno, this is a map where if you get a kill in a position, doubling down while you have your team there is the go-to. You have to just commit. You have to go fast because you can, you kill Ariel on balcony, there's only 1 player left in A. You trade him, and you probably win the round, or at bare minimum get a bomb plant down and can play that post plant essentially like a whole new round. So yeah, they needed that trade, but NiP very hesitant. Not what you like to see. Hopefully they can start to pick up the pace here in the T side now that they've got more guns out. Twist on a Deagle, caught the AWP in the last. NiP have weapons otherwise. You have to fight Banana, and through the fire of flames, the control of the spray is excellent. Ariel waiting at the bottom of mid. He finds the bomb as well. And ENCE, they have no fear of getting aggressive. This is looking like an excellent CT side right now. And Hampus in a 1-on-5. Good luck, buddy. It just ain't happening. That transfer from Yampi was something else, dude. This guy just continues to impress. Such a shame, given the situation he's in. Really feels like wasted talent. But I'm so glad that ENCE gave him the opportunity to play and to be on this roster and to compete against the best, because we know he can do it. That's clear. ENCE 2-0 Na'Vi the other day with Yampi at the forefront of that series. So if that's not enough evidence for you, then we're done talking.
Time, the attempted aggression. Not going to bode well for a man like Yampi. 4 is irretrievable. Sunny is now looking for his time to shine at Banana. He gets mopped up. Alu, 3rd man here. There's just more and more. It's like a clown car at the top of B, and each time more people seem to be getting on out, but finally they've muddled their way into this B bomb site. Twist in a 1v2. Does this time have armor behind this rifle? Looks to take an aggressive lie down here towards CT. Twist tucked in the ruins, and he's looking to ruin this round for the side of ENCE. Just about survives the journey. Re-peek in, but Ariel is ready. And this continues to be flawless for ENCE. 6-0 on the board.
Trying to find the AWP from Alu. He died in that close position. It probably is still there. Ariel's teammate dropped a grenade when he died, and it tagged Ariel for 30. I thought he was going to die off the back of that, right? Like just the shake of the screen and the fact that grenade hits you will put him off, but he immediately gets that kill. So great work from Ariel, continuing his streak. He's 11-1 right now. You see Sergey pulls a nade, it drops, Ariel gets tagged, and as he gets tagged, he takes his shot. So yeah, great work. Cold, calm, cool, collected. All of the C's here for ENCE. And they're going to see what they can do in this 7th round. 6-0 right now. NiP, it's not like they haven't had rifle rounds. They've had plentiful amounts. They've even had this AWP in play. So NiP going to need to do something soon. Bit of a tag through the wall. Oh dear. A lot of a tag through the wall. Ariel, he goes back for more. And well, he won't go in for a 3rd, eventually giving that one up. There's going to be a repush on short as ENCE set up with a boost and a double setup here. Ariel baiting them in from the corner. And this is a good call from ENCE, right? Every time NiP have taken mid, they smoke long and gone short. So ENCE trying to get ahead of the curve.
Double porch side boost. Little stack here. the ENCE squad, and they do get shut down. Finally, NiP are in a situation that feels very, very doable. They're in this 4-on-2. And Rez just waiting. Holding his ground outside of B.
Oh, I like this gamble from ENCE. But is it right? Look at Nork.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Nork is now saying, guys, A side's looking pretty nice right about now. And they will rotate off of Banana. For ENCE, this is just going to be the save, right? You're 2-on-4, you try to take the gamble over at B, and the benefit to doing this is that if they come your way, right, you're in that 2-on-4, there's a chance you can find something. And if they don't, well, you're grouped up, you just hold on to these guns, you don't risk losing any. So it's here in round number 7 that NiP finally break the streak of ENCE and get their first on the board. Now, this can't just be a flash in the pan. This can't just be a one and done for NiP. They need to keep streaking this together. And the problem they're going to have is that with such a strong start from ENCE, it really is going to feel like a grind until you get yourself back in that position where you go, yeah, okay, we're in a good spot in this game now. Because the investments are going to keep coming through thick and fast for the ENCE side. Especially if they're able to hold on to this AWP and M4. Which it certainly looks like right now. NiP, they kind of have more to lose from chasing this than they do to gain.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's important that NiP get away with 4 in their first rifle round, right? Because, again, you know, the classic case, it comes down to clutch. If one player survives, well, NiP, they win the round, but at what cost? They're not going to have any money. So that's not an issue here. NiP can continue to buy, they get the AWP in play, and things are looking pretty damn good for the Ninjas. Double AWP, though, for ENCE. This is the time. They wait till they lose their first round before they try and throw something new in the way. Yampi's got his towards B. Deep grenade going down. Ollie on the logs denies Twist from getting up on top of it to fight that corner. He's got to take a more standard approach, and, well, it doesn't really matter to ENCE. They've only got one player here. Temporarily, Sunny's going to begin his rotation, and will come back towards the coffins. Here's the contact being made, and Yampi, he'll hit that shot every day of the week. Twist is gone, and the AWP removed, at least from NiP for now. Nork could take it, but he's the one man who's not in this group up towards B. He will come late to join them, and will probably save that weapon or pick it up when going into a post plant if NiP can find the entries. That AWP is so good at just locking down Banana in a post plant here for NiP. But 2-man setup for ENCE. They re-smoke things off, and NiP have to just hold off another 15 seconds. That 15 seconds is only going to give away more evidence, essentially, to ENCE that this one's clear. And what we've just seen on A is Alu's flashed Sergey for a mid peek. And so now they know that mid's clear. A re-smoke coming through. Alu could rotate, and often at times probably should rotate. But because they're a man up, ENCE don't feel the need to. And they'll deal with this 2-on-4 as NiP commits.
Pete nails that first shot, and the follow-up still alive, and even manages to tag the man on the third. The nade will rain in and deal with him. Yampi has kept this in the advantage of ENCE heading into the retake. The Molotov burns out the low HP Hampus, and for Nork, he gets tagged down very low there, goes back in with the re-peek, hits the shot, but it's not the killing blow. And so the defuse coming through for the ENCE squad. 3 players staying alive. The good times keeping up here for ENCE over on this CT side. NiP, at least with the loss bonus pretty much maxed out and getting the bomb plant, have more than enough money. Also with 4 players surviving in the round prior. So the reinvestment's going to come through.
Yeah, and if this goes to Mirage, right, I'm actually really excited. If you look at the numbers just on its own, NiP, it feels like they're not a very good Mirage team, but it's just a map they don't play. In the games they played it, they lost an overtime to Vitality, they lost a double OT to FaZe, they beat Fnatic, they fell by a single round to Complexity. So, you know, obviously, I'm reading out a list of losses, but with the caveat of their versus a lot better teams in close matches, so we know NiP can play that map to some extent. Will ENCE take us there? That's what they're trying to do. Sunny with a quick pick up Banana, smokes the molly and escapes safely. There's a 3-man B setup for ENCE. If NiP just stand a commit here, they will get wrecked. And so that's probably against their best bet. Still stacked up here with 3, though, still lining up utility, so Do NiP want to be bomb side again? Norks push forward. That's a big kill. That's going to send the rotation back as NiP commit into B. Sergej's begun his route back towards A, but he has no idea which site it's meant to be. Nork picked up, and that's the one lurk down. Now Sergej could even consider rotating back, but NiP have gone silent. They've gone quiet, and they're ready to pop through this smoke into B.
Plopsky going to go up and over, and he uncovers the double stack that lies within this little Orange's position. Bomb left in the middle of the site. They have to quickly run back and get it. And Sergej getting close through this smoke in the meantime. Finds the kill on the planter and the follow-up onto Twist. ENCE, they are in such control of this game right now, it feels like.
Yeah, that was a messed up round for NiP. Like, to be fair, the planter fakes, and he was trying to pull his gun out, but Sergej was already in the smoke. He's so quick at reacting. But look at the second player. He's running through the coffin smoke. He's trying to get advanced position. He's trying to cut off rotations, but he's not even covering his teammate's bomb plant. Like, that's a big error for NiP, and one that's going to cost him a round. If he just stayed there, he knew no one could be coffins. That's why he pushed the smoke. And, well, Sergej maybe closer than NiP assumed, but that was that early B rotate that, you know, left Sergej milling about in the spawn in the mid round. Alu's last Inferno game was a 45-19 performance against Copenhagen Flames. Damn. 5-5 right now, doing his job, doing his duty, but not needed to do anything ridiculous because ENCE, this scoreline is speaking for itself. 8-1 up right now, and NiP back with the guns. I hope they move away from B, man. Set up towards B. Get that banana control that NiP is so good at getting, and leave a man up there. Leave Nork in position while you work that A site. ENCE have been reading it, they've been stacking it, and they've been putting the orbs here as well. So maybe B is not the solution for the Ninjas, as they've only won a single round of this map. Oh, they're going to go fast.
They're going to get another go. They really love this B site, but it doesn't love them back. However, Rez showing us exactly why. And he throws this deep CT smoke that we've seen teams really started to take advantage of. Plays close on the other side of it. Actually gets caught crossing into the ruins by Ariel. So a 3-on-3 gifted over. Rez didn't really need to start spamming that smoke there. That's one of the advantages of having it, is that you can just sit on the other side and you're guaranteed like a win on the fight of the players that come through. So now losing him, it's given up this deep CT control. It allows ENCE to start to move back in. Nork and Hampus left in a 2-on-2, and Nork, he is going to deliver the spray transfer to deal with them both. Second round on the board for NiP, but it's not worth celebrating yet on the NiP side of things. They still have a ways to go before they get back into this map.
Yeah, that was a different approach to B, which is nice for NiP, right? You know, they went for the same site, but they did it on contact. They didn't, you know, do the standard, oh, we're going to throw execute smokes, and then ENCE do what they always do, which is just drop a Molotov and slow things down by not only 7 seconds, but that draws Sergej on the rotate from long so often. So, yeah, NiP, they just take banana, ENCE go, yeah, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to default for a minute and a half. No. NiP pop in, they get a double entry off the back of Rez at the cost of 1, and they close the post run, even though it gets dicey. A round is a round, and NiP will take what they can get, because now the economy of ENCE is on breaking point. We have the AWP, we have an M4, but that is pretty much all you can be happy for ENCE in this round. That being said, Alu, we know what he can do with this gun. And the main weapons for ENCE split 1 per site. NiP are yet to know that.
Alu playing this very wide angle. Twist just homed in on short side. That flash is good, and that shot, Alu now knows that the AWP is off the angle, and the shot was in response to getting flashed, so he peeks on in. Does overextend a little bit to try and continue his reign of terror, and that allows Hampus the trade, so we are back into this 4-on-4, but only 2 players inside of the B site. One of them is going to try and get a little cheeky. That man is Ariel. In the apartment, Sergej back in the bomb site with this deagle. Rotation not budging from this B site just yet, and while Sunny does begin that rotation now, it's too little too late for the side of ENCE. left in this 2-on-4 with no money looking into the future. NiP, they've got ENCE right where they want them if they want to grind back into this game.
Yeah, Yampi's already thrown in the towel. He's already saving his weapon on B. Sunny wants an upgrade, and instead of going for a kill, he might just be able to find one here in middle, but he's looking to fight, and maybe escaping was a safer option. There was an AK drop there in middle, and actually it was an AWP. It was Twist's AWP, so that would have been a massive save for Sunny, but he hears someone aggressing. He feels confident to take the fight, and unfortunately it doesn't go his way. But yeah, I mean, that's a rough way to lose a round like that, or lose a chance to save a gun. That would have been a huge weapon to pick up here for ENCE. Either way, it's a round for NiP. They're drawing back into this matchup. Yampi with the one gun, and that will be the only gun in this round for ENCE. Pistols around it. Yampi can flash his teammates in with that one bit of utility he saves, but right now this is NiP getting back into the swing of things. It may be an 8-round CT side currently. ENCE have already won the half at a bare minimum, but NiP want to build into things, and this is where they can do that. 3-man B set up here for ENCE, and a bit of a mid push coming in as well.
Love these mid pushes, and in this round the mid push might not love them back, as Rez is here holding down the line. That's support from Nork, and NiP, they get that one under wraps nice and quickly. Now we get this reinvestment to come through from ENCE. It is going to be lacking this AWP, not even the option to get one of those glass cannons. So rifles out across the board and out in full force here for the Finns. NiP slowly but surely stumbling back to their feet and starting to recover this T side. Now, they're in this position where if they can keep this up, they can keep finding rounds, they should be in a spot to just keep chaining them together. Because right now, they're in charge of the economy game. Sergey, he knows that some risks might have to be taken to win the round. So him and Ariel, they'll aggress it through the apartments.
What?
Nork is fast out through long, so fast that Sunny wasn't even ready for it, but Yampi is. This leaves Twist. They get the info, though. The Ariel was in apps. Yampi is in CT. So who's at B? The answer, well, it's Twist. Right now, he's rotated in and he's got this bomb. Anticipating that Yampi's going to be back in CT, but Yampi has not begun this rotation yet. And with the bomb planted, it becomes all too clear to the ENCE squad as to where this threat lies. Now, Twist still has this smoke as well. That's something to bear in mind. Like he wants to try and take the fight with this AWP straight up. There's no kit for the ENCE squad, so they've got to be fast in their approach. These two smokes, they can help ENCE in this situation. They'll throw the first one in. That's actually going to block off the Ruins peak. Twist now making his presence known, and one of those smokes is gone. Twist getting pressured, lands the no-scope, and there's a lot of confidence in that shot there. Twist. You cheeky devil, 5 on the board for NiP, and ENCE no money left despite the strong advantage they were able to take in this round.
Yeah, I like the plant from Twist as well. It doesn't really have any difference in the round because he just does that. But he plants, because he knows he has B for free and he can go anywhere he wants, right? He plants wider for Coffin so that, you know, if he was stuck Ruins, a player couldn't just stick the bomb. You know, he could see him from the Ruins position by just jiggling. So that's a nice plant there. And I feel like teams should use it more when they have the B site, when you know it's clear and you're safe to plant open for the Ruins. Obviously, the reason is it's default. The default is covered by the Coffin is because often you'll just throw those two smokes into B and execute, cutting a player out. In that case, Twist, he makes the right call and he shuts it down. NiP, they shut down that round. I was talking all over it. Nothing even happened. ENCE, they get aggressive, they throw some grenades and they get mopped up, as they did 2 rounds ago in the last eco. So last round of the half here, and this dominant, or once dominant lead for ENCE has really tightened up. 5 rounds in a row for NiP off of this 8-1 lead. And now NiP looking to find a 7-round half.
And that would be quite the recovery when you think about the fact that they were 6-0 down at one point in time. I mean, they were 8-1 down at one point in time, right? So this is a great streak from NiP. Alu's kind of sick and tired of us talking about the Swedes, and so he's trying to get us hyped up about ENCE again in this round. He's already taken a man advantage for the Finnish squad. NiP. able to deal with him yet. Alu is still floating around in the top of mid, pretty aggressive. And that player crossing, Hampus, never even got the info that Alu was in this position to maybe wide swing.
Oh,
Hampus is going to get the better of him the second time around. Sergey is boosted up here on the head of Ariel for a peek into the apartments. And you can see that as they start to aggress in through mid, they're aware of this as a possibility. And that boost becomes a bit of a slaughterhouse for ENCE. Bomb plant going to come through. It's round 15. So these two at B, they're going to attempt it. Do they have what it takes? Sunny and Yampi left in this retake.
They don't have a kit, Harry, so that's already not boding well for ENCE. Nork naded Boiler from those T stairs there, so he really blew Sergey out of the water in this round. And now ENCE, they might be drowning in their own blood. Flash for Yampi is all they can muster. Quick pop for Rez, blinds himself, but not an issue. He's not fighting yet. Now he will. Damage done to Sunny. Here's Yampi on the corner, and he's cleared up as well. Rez and Popsky shut it down, and NiP recover from an 8-1 lead in the favor of the Finns, all the way to a split down the middle at the end of the halftime. We're going to see if NiP can keep up the streak, or if ENCE will come alive on the T side. Join us after the break. Well, ENCE, they held a lead and they still hold a lead, but are they in the lead? I don't know. NiP pull a massive comeback in that T side, 6 rounds in a row to round things out. And well, ENCE now moving over to the T half. It is, of course, NiP's map pick, but the new in-game leader, we're going to have to see how they deal with the plan of ENCE. Quick taps for Yampi, and he will just delete the B defense. NiP, they're rotating A. Rez is running away. Rez wants nothing to do with this. He has a smoke. I don't get this. I'm not too sure as to why he did that, but he gave them B. He was in CT the entire time. Like, unless you're trying to like play ahead of the game and be like, oh, they got B picks, they're going to go A, but Yampi got 2 immediate kills, so of course ENCE are going to commit. That's a very weird one.
Well, there might be more weirdness, Hugo, before all is said and done, because keep your eye on a guy called Alu. We all know him. Some of us love him. He's down here sneaking in the back line, and he's going to deal with these players wrapping in. Rez falls, and that round really does fall apart for NiP.
Yeah, the only way I can try and understand that from Rez's perspective is because Yampi got those kills as a deep smoke bloomed at bottom B. So maybe in his head he's thinking, oh, like you'll see here, Yampi gets kills, there's the smoke. Obviously, ENCE are pushing that smoke. They've just got 2 kills. Why wouldn't they? That's always going to be, you know, max 1 more player there, and even then, unlikely. So yeah, maybe Rez tries to overread the situation, or someone makes a bad call, but. Yeah, that felt like a throwaway for NiP. That felt like it's still a doable round after those kills. But now, ENCE are going to reap the rewards. They're going to be benefiting greatly. Nice grenade from Rez, but it's coming at the cost of ENCE rushing A. This rotate is a better one for NiP. They see the 1 man in B, and, well, unfortunately, they're too late here. ENCE have already sped up. Hampers is trying to scout. If he can get even 1 kill here or soften up some targets with a deagle, that will do some damage. Rez is going to try and capitalize, but 2 kills coming through, 1 for the long side. Even with the bomb drop to the library, Naught can't hold on to it, and ENCE, they're going to go 10-7 up. Things are looking good right now for the Finns. I love the pace, nice and fast, decisive T-side, and that's something that NiP definitely didn't have. Like, for sure, they get 7 rounds, they look good, but I wouldn't say that NiP played decisively on the T-side. They went A twice in that half, once on a full eco, and once in a rifle round where they just couldn't trade out Sergey in the site, and then they went B for the rest of the game. So I already like what I'm seeing from ENCE here.
Where's Plopsky at with the Zeus? He's in B. Hey, maybe we get to see a Zeus kill in this round. Maybe we don't know. You know, it's always the risk. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes things don't. Here we go. I think I've covered all my bases there. Now with Sunny getting stuck in the apartments with this Mac 10. There's a couple of players here short side. Let's see it. Plopsky tries to jumping Zeus. It doesn't work.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, and with that kill, the B-side's fallen, right? ENCE have already moved in. They've got all their belongings in boxes. And they've contacted the interior designer, the architect, Rain, on the line. Figuring out how they could plan a nice little open layout inside of B.
So do we want mahogany brown or teagle blue for our kitchen, Rain? I can't. I'm stuck between the 2 colors. They're both great. Come on, Rain. Sort it out.
I know. They're even making a documentary right now. Multitasking.
Alu, what are your thoughts on NiP?
Yeah. So, Alu, you know, like, how would you describe the average life of an e-gamer? Alu just sitting there giving answers. Well, you know, we play games. Well, I'm actually in one right now. We're playing versus NiP, and they've got a force fight. He's actually doing a great job of commentary without even realizing it. They've got the full buy, rather, on the side of NiP. Rifles out across the board. And a bit of a bonus round here from ENCE, with 2 Mac 10s still in play. And they're looking to set up for what seems like just a fast B play. There's a fake smoke thrown out at long to keep these players rotating off of A. And Nork and Plopsky at B, they don't really care. They don't need the reinforcements. They've held it down very favorably between the 2 of them. And they're continuing to dish out this damage now. Rotations even arriving. There's no flash for Twist to go through this CT smoke, but he just runs it dry and comes in through the back line. So an 8th now on the scoreboard for NiP, and this game still has some mileage on it yet.
Yeah, worth noting that was a bonus round for ENCE, right? They're 2 Mac 10, so a player like Nork is going to get away with a lot of value for a position like that. Headshot angle far away, and the Mac 10s can only do dink damage. They can't kill him. It's going to be around for NiP, and they can build off the back of that, right? Now with lots of money, even more utility, yet to field the AWP on either side, but, you know, we'll wait for that one. There was money for ENCE for it, they just don't have an interest. And Sergey, he's going to get mollied at top B, but he will take control. Good grenade from NiP onto Alu. Actually found some considerable damage with the utility, and it was only from Rez, who will rotate back towards long. NiP wait with his crossfire in B, but of course the CT smoke would render Nork useless from this position. He spots a player dropping, and he will fall back. Plopsky has a molly for when ENCE commit. Yampi's in a position that can get, you know, cancelled out by the Molotov, but NiP don't want to waste it on a gamble when they know that they should save it for an execute. And, well, that execute, Harry, it will never come, at least not on B. And sort of rotated out of the banana and left Yampi here for a lurk. Everyone else smoking long and taking that mid control.
do get out into the top of mid, and Rez is still holding close. He's going to get rewarded with that kill onto Ariel. Now, while all this is going on, ENCE, they still have banana control, so everything they're showing here at A might just prove to be a fake. That bomb is pretty deep within the apartments on the back of Alu, however, and there's no one else nearby to help out, so he really can't afford to go down here. Luckily for him, there's not really anyone on the NiP side who could spot him in this position. Yampi actually leaving the B site after throwing in a bit of a... yeah, I see that on the map. Yeah, so he's rejoined the rest of the gang here at A to try and commit to this site, and they are just getting churned up. There's 8 seconds left. This bomb would have to be getting planted now, and they haven't even secured the site. So that round kind of falls apart for ENCE. NiP, the CT side defense, since the rifles have come out, started to piece itself together quite nicely.
Yeah, individuals looking very, very good. NiP flashing each other into fights and stuff. Things are looking nice. Those B executes are going to be a big problem. Or you know, not necessarily, but I think they could be the solution, I guess, is a better way of saying that for ENCE when they hit the rifle rounds, right? We saw one of them earlier on, but it was with bonus. So, you know, we didn't see the full entourage of weaponry that ENCE can bring into that B bomb site. And hopefully that can come through later. Right now it's an eco, allowing NiP double digits, assuming these Deegs don't destroy. And that's still a pretty big assumption, because we know ENCE, they have some capable pistol players. Whereas watching Boiler just misses the timing as they get into that position. He's going to take some shots, but he's only trying to draw in attention as he waits for a hallway burst. Nothing here, though, from ENCE. They're just congregating in middle. Yampi lurking B again. ENCE not getting challenged. They've been given mid in this round. It's a safe decision by NiP, knowing they're versus pistols. They don't want to fight for this close control where pistols can take them down. So Twist looks for a ranged battle where he can get flashed in from a teammate. Oh, he's going to come down. He is white, though, and that will give ENCE the room to move into CT. There's the info. Twist gets it. He knows at least one. He didn't see all 5, though, or 4, rather, and that's a big problem now for NiP as they have to go and patch that hole. Twist with some damage. Hampus drops the bomb. Sunny hung around with it, and that's a massive mistake as ENCE. They were splitting B, but NiP have turtled inside of B, and NiP owned the bomb. Luckily enough, Alu catches Twist and a gun with it, but this is all over the place. That bomb still hasn't been secured, and neither has B. Plopsky was waiting the entire time, knowing Yampi was lurking banana, and Norca shut down a CT player. One by one, ENCE are falling, and it's all because they can't make progress as a team because of this bomb. Ariel's finally gotten it, but he is not going to get out of the round. And dear, oh dear, that is not how ENCE wanted that to go. I imagine they would have just sped fast towards B if Sunny didn't die there, and that would have probably gone a lot better for them in a 5-on-2. Yeah, they're going to call a pause. I don't blame them after that one. That is a mess.
Pretty grim little stat right there. And yeah, it's a shame to see that round fall apart in the fashion it did. Hugo, we got another Krieg out for ENCE. We got another one of those Kriegs. This time it's Sunny. I think since the nerf, it's appropriate to call it the Craig.
Yep.
So Craig's out for the boys. Sunny going to be donning it. Let's see what he can do.
Old Craigaroo. Looking to crack some heads. Or crack some heads, I guess. Let's see if he can do that. Heading towards ult. We've got banana flashes for Yampi. ENCE taking quick control, but NiP back to a standard setup. Triple B to allow for that utility to be amassed. And the Molotov. Oh, no. The spread. That was a bait for NiP. They throw the molly. Sergey, the only place he can survive is logs. And then NiP, what do? They nade logs.
I mean, he was still getting burnt. Yeah. That felt like some real BS for Sergey. That's like a classic case of there's no actual fire at your feet, but like, I don't know, you're just very warm underneath all this clothing, I guess. And then the nade, I guess, really doesn't help acclimatize him to all of that. So, kill found for NiP as they're looking to tie this up at 11-11. Ariel going to try and recuperate these sunk costs. Getting out over here towards short side. Now, there's a very heavy lean towards this A bomb site from NiP. Plopsky is alone at B right now. If he falls, that would be very, very bad. So he can't afford to take many chances here. Calls for the rotation of Nork back round. And while this has gone on, ENCE, they've actually re-geared back up and now look to hit this A bomb site. Now, there's a pretty scary crossfire here, right? 2 players over at porch side, one tucked in the cubby at long. They've just seen Twist getting down off the booster porch. And Rez has actually fallen back out the cubby as well. So NiP, they dismantled this crossfire that they had set up. Fall back into these more passive angles. And Sunny with the Craig opens the round up. Ariel moving in next. Twist falls. It's Hampus alone down in the pit, and Yampi's going to best him. I would have loved to have seen that crossfire help for just a few more seconds.
The reason NiP deconstructed the boost is earlier, ENCE had Ariel in Boiler and he spotted Twist up top. He took a shot, and so that knowledge was there. Obviously, NiP were gambling with the fact that, haha, they know we're here, so surely they won't think we're still here. Why wouldn't we have rotated? But then Twist, you know, for whatever reason, NiP, they call a backup. I don't think there's anything wrong with the call to back up there to give away the mid control. They were right in knowing ENCE were coming and falling back into a passive setup. But that player on long hits the worst timing. I think it was Twist. He was holding the corner. He looks away as ENCE enter, and then he re-aggresses back in, but they are already wide, and he gets stuck on the corner. And it just falls apart from that, right? The Creed kills him, and ENCE, they just push as a unit. I love how when ENCE get this kill, ENCE get a kill, they will just commit off the back of it. They won't hesitate, they won't hang around, and they just completely entrench that site, circle that site from a short and long. And a really, really nice round from ENCE keeps them in this game. And NiP were putting together a streak on the CT side of 3. It is finally broken. And an AWP, finally, it is here. But not for NiP.
He's been flashed in. He's looking for kills, and he might come to regret that decision. Now, there is a second man here at B, just in case exactly that happened. And at this point, you're kind of like trying to tempt ENCE into committing to this play on the back of getting that kill, and they won't suspect necessarily this double setup here, especially not because Nork still hasn't been spotted as far as they're aware. Rez might just be the only man here. Now, while Alu is up the top of Banana with this AWP, the rest of the gang are out in top mid with that bomb. They're going to start to rotate back because Alu has been able to hold on to this top Banana. Now, Nork got boosted up by Rez into this position. And Nork, as we said earlier, still hasn't been seen at this bomb site. So, ENCE, will they be ready for this double hold at the oranges and up on top of this boost? That's going to reposition, drops that smoke. It's going to force them to go through it. They get that kill. Now, are they ready for Nork up here? They haven't seen him yet, and he will shut down the first man. They start to pressure him. A second kill onto the Deagle. Let's make it pretty. It's all 3 for Nork as he gets it done with the sidearm there. 11 on the board for NiP. That little sneaky play from Nork yields some pretty big results.
And you can see they just had no idea. Why would they, right? The fact that Nork is there is really good because in order to get on that position, you have to make noise. There's no way of doing it unless you boost. And so that boost is so smart for NiP. ENCE think they're committing into an empty bomb site after Alu gets that AWP pick. And, well, Nork, he just mows him down from the top of the boost, even pulls out the sidearm to shut down the round. NiP, they lose one, they instantly recover and find another. At 14, Sergey played for Finland in the King of Nordics against Sweden. Hampus dropped 29 kills on Cash for the win. That's how you know it was a long time ago. Firstly, Sergey was 14, but also it was on Cash. So, yeah, Hampus looking to, once again, take down his former foe in Sergey. Sweden versus Finland. Right now, quick pause before the action continues. ENCE's money come to a bit of a close. They win one, instantly recovered, and now SMGs and pistols in this as they wait for the bonus to build. NiP get a free AWP off the back of that round as well, so Twist, of course, will take it into this. I imagine we'll see him on B. He has the spawn for it as well. But actually heading elsewhere, back towards A for the long side. Of course, yeah, NiP run triple B with Rez there on the utility, so Twist is going to remain on the A site, and NiP will get aggressive. I like the call. It's after a pause as well. ENCE might not expect it, but a missed grenade, it hits his teammate and does a hell of a lot of damage.
Oh dear, but there is this 3-man lean over towards the B site. Hampus has aggressed out mid as well. However, while all this has gone on, it's left one man at A, Twist with the AWP, and he's staring down mid. Players are in the apartments, and NiP, they don't know exact numbers, but they know there's a lot of players here at Banana. It might be more than they're accounting for, though. And this A site is a real vulnerability. Twist is now all alone, and there's a player out balcony. Twist is dead, he's gone. This A site has fallen. And NiP getting a little too big for their boots in this round. They get aggressive, they get shut down, and this leaves them in a 3-on-3 retake. But an AWP in the hands of Sergey, an M4 in the hands of Alu. There's still a good chance that ENCE could find this round. Alu is all the way down here in the bottom of mid, but this isn't as bad as it seems. He can keep an eye on the cross, he can serve as a distraction, and he catches Rez completely unprepared. Now starts to begin a rotation in, and NiP, they might decide to save. That kill gets delivered to Plopsky. There's so much time ticked off this bomb. They concede the round, and it's 13 on the board for ENCE.
Yeah, that was a weird one for NiP, right? Like, I like this setup where Hampus gets aggressive, but Twist, he was covering T-Ramp. And, you know, in this case, like, you know, obviously that's probably something they've run in Prac and it didn't go badly. But in this case, Ramp was empty. There were 3B, and Hampus was getting wrapped from ult. Twist should have been on the long side watching ult mid to cover Hampus, rather, because Hampus can watch both Ramp and Banana from bottom mid, right? It's like the same angle. If someone swings you, you're looking in that position anyway. And so Twist essentially lets his teammate get wrapped and then dies to the same player who comes back up through the mid smoke.
The thing that's so wild is, like, yeah, you understand covering the ramp in the beginning, right, as Hampus is getting set up, because that is when he is in danger. But once he's there, I thought we were going to see Twist reposition.
Exactly, yeah.
And that part just never comes through. So now ENCE, in this round, Twist, he kind of makes up for it by taking a man away early on, and it's quite the man to find. However, Yampi, he won't admit it, but he loves it when Alu dies, because it means he gets his hands on this big green gun.
Wow.
Now, he's looking to show us what he can do with it.
Yeah, that is not wrong at all. I'm sure Yampi prefers having the AWP, but, well, Plopsky is going to send him back to the graveyard. He goes, nope, that's Alu's. Can't use that. And Yampi shot through a smoke in this round. He's going to get put down. So NiP 5-3 up, and very good position. Ariel spotting a player atop the boost. He's not going to get a second chance, though. Quick drop off from Rez. Falls back safely. Ooh. Boost up in B for NiP, but ENCE committing towards A. They've got 3 up, and the molly on long continues to throw spanners in the works, continues to delay ENCE on this aggress. Ariel has grenades for the pit, but it's a crossfire from the site of the balcony, so this utility finds nothing, and Ariel now knows that's clear. He jumps on top of the barrel and spots for a potential exit, out of which there is none. That long smoke fades, and Twist didn't realize he's up for the chopping block. Sergey takes him down, and now this site just got scary. Now there's a wrap coming in from long side, and that needs to be contained by Plopsky. He can't do it, he can't step up. Rez now holding down the line. They mow up, or they mow down rather, and Rez finds a double as both of them walk into his crosshairs. Low time for ENCE, and not a round for them. It's going to be 12 on the board for NiP. Yampi tempting fate there as well, shooting through the smoke. Only draws a shot right back. And this is such a close game right now.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Ah.
AK is better.
Yeah, and you know, it's always been the case, right? For people who have like taste, you know, like I think that's the mutual agreement.
I'm glad Valve went the Valve route, right? Which is, as soon as a gun gets good in this game, they just make it useless. And that's fine by me, honestly. Like, R8, useless. Fine by me. Krieg, good, useless. Fine by me. Keep doing it, Valve. As far as I'm aware. As long as, you know, you don't nerf the Deagle or the AWP again. Just keep your hands off my green gun.
Yeah, if they touch either of the AWPs, right? The Deagle or the AWP itself, I'll be emailing myself right now. Rez falls immediately. The nade stack finds him. Nork has got to make a stand, and making a stand. He shall. League out, let's go. And he gets it all. It's Plopsky helping him out. And they keep that round under wraps.
These anti-ecos have been so clean from NiP. That's one thing that you can't fault in this series. Like, they just don't lose the pistol.
Well, if you remember right, heading into train, we were saying, how sick would it be if you get Plopsky and Nork both just playing the lights-out CS we know they're known for? Well, Hugo, look at this scoreboard. Between them, they have 47 kills in this game right now. They are both showing up. And the fact that they're both B-site players, that's stellar, because it makes this B-site, like, terrifying to try and move into if you're ENCE. They're going to set up for an A play here with one man actually going out of the apartments now. Slowly but surely taking this banana control. It is just the full eco here for the ENCE squad, but we've seen them find success in rounds just like this. And that little tag there onto Twist is going to help out. I want to see a bit more from him on this AWP, right? Because Nork, right, we've known him to be this kind of hybrid play, you know, playing with the AWP and M4. He's looking great. And Twist is their main AWP. I feel like we still have yet to see him pop off in a very big way in this map.
He didn't have it in the T side at all, so there's worth keeping that in the back of your mind. But yeah, you know, now's his chance on the long corner. This is the perfect position for it. It's one of the first AWPs he's even had in this game, and he is going to take a quick shot back up. Nice collapse. You say his name, Harry, and he delivers the pain. 2 for the price of 1. And Sunny, he's grabbed Deeg to try and cross, but to little avail. NiP back-to-back anti-ecos, right? One of them a little bit more than the last, but 14-13 now, just 2 rounds away from 2-0ing this series and looking good inside of this group, saving themselves, in fact. And this has got to be the round for them. This has got to be a recovery, otherwise NiP might push it over the line.
I'll try it again. I'll see if I can jinx someone to step up. I want to see a bit more from Yampy because he's been great in this game and he's been so good at getting these opening kills for the side event. So let's see if he can wreak some havoc. Instead, it's Sergey going aggressive up in towards Banana, and he shuts down both players here. Plopsky, you've got to hold the line, and they are already so close. The Molly burns Sergey out from beyond the grave. But this B site is still a no-go zone for NiP. And they're going to take themselves the 14th round on the back of this fast B hit.
Yeah, NiP already saving, and ENCE know it as well. Sunny's already found out to try and find these exits in the alt mid. ENCE aren't giving away a kill on B. They're playing very safe, very tucked, as they need the money more than NiP need the money at this point. Has Alu crashed? That's the question. No, okay, he's staring into the wall. It's all good. It's all under control. ENCE get away with 4 alive in that round off the back of some key kills from Sergey. He finds every single frag in the round for ENCE. NiP, they do get away with the AWP and the M4. That's going to be something, right? Both these players can drop guns. We can have a full rifle round at 14-14. NiP can still hold a bye, but whoever loses this is going to be in a bit of a predicament. More so NiP than ENCE, who do at least have the bonus of winning that round and keeping their players alive. Boy, oh boy, this one is tight, Harry. Quick tack pause for ENCE before they get into round number 29. Yeah, I mean, I believe that stat, right? We've seen the amount of grenade kills, even from NiP down Banana. Alu's hesitating with Yuto. I wonder if he wants to save the money to buy the AWP next round, right? Regardless of how this goes. Now, he's going to do it. I'm reading into things, Harry. But either way, back into the action. Nork on the AWP, he's taking over Twist. I really respect Twist for this. He's clearly gone, Nork, take the AWP. I don't feel it. You have double my kills, over double my kills. This is your time to shine. And let's see what Nork can do with it towards B.
Yeah, he didn't have a good spawn to take the early fight, and he'll decide against it. And I like that decision as well, right? Because NiP, this banana control that they've gone for aggressively, it's kind of given and it's taken based on just how the immediate heads-up duels go. And I think ENCE, they've really accommodated this this aggression and started to use it against NiP. So in this round, it's a much more reserved approach. Now, ENCE, they're setting up for an A-side play. They're just going to commit into this bomb site. And NiP, they need to start rotating players around now. These 3 players in the site, they've got to buy time, because if they fall right away, this round is over. And what do you know? They've fallen right away. This round, it's over.
That's such a shame for Nork on the AWP as well, right? We didn't even get to see it play into this round. That's the first apps drop we've seen since, I think, round 2 of this map, which is NiP on Glocks bursting out apartments to really no success because of the Glock. So yeah, ENCE, they throw in something new at round number 29 and it catches NiP off guard. Some quick kills, even with the advantage going in the way of NiP. Rez drops Yampy before anyone, and still ENCE trade their way to a win. So nice round from them. They might be able to take us to a third here. That third map's going to be Mirage, and a lot of question marks as to what we're going to expect on that one, right? Obviously one that we know ENCE enjoy, one that NiP don't tend to play, but when they do, they often are competitive, even if it isn't necessarily a win. Plopsky desperately trying to save this gun. Even taking a fight here is a risk, right? He just wants the info, smoking them off and saving his weaponry. So yeah, no chance that ENCE are going to take away a gun in this post plant. They get close, but close won't cut it. 15 rounds though, that will. ENCE only 1 away from a third map in this series, and NiP 1 away from an overtime in their map pick.
solution here for NiP? They've called an attack pause.
I think they're going to move away from the triple B early, right? Like, while the utility's been really good, and obviously that's a risk in calling that if ENCE B rush, but, you know, NiP have been doing it pretty much every round this half, and ENCE reacted to it well that round by going, okay, they're triple B early, so let's elevate an A round, knowing that Rez will be in rotation when we commit. So, you know, that's ENCE trying to read into the fact that NiP are throwing all these grenades down Banana. And it's a game of cat and mouse. It's a mental game, because do ENCE commit to B because of that fact now, or do they commit to A fast again because NiP might run triple B? It's a question mark. And God, I wouldn't want to be an in-game leader at this scoreline, but NiP 2 on A, or 2 on B rather, 3 on A, and a bit of utility, but not the full Banana control that NiP have shown in the past.
Ooh, nade stack into Nork. That's going to tag him down very, very low. He falls back from Banana. And ENCE, they also get the information that the AWP is here. And now they slow it right down, right? With Nork firing off a shot, you know those nades have done damage to him. You know he's not feeling pleased, and that you've wounded a man at the B site and forced a more passive hold. So now they go back, start to consider their other options. Have this triple short setup from NiP. Now, we've seen them do this once, and they dismantled it before we could see how effective it was.
Oh.
And in this round, we're going to see it springing to life. They're vying for overtime. They're trying to get us there. And now just 3 players, now 2 players for ENCE left to deny it. Yampi and Sergey, 2 on 5. Rotation round from Nork. He finds himself in the speedway with this AWP. And this leaves a temporary 2-on-2 available to ENCE in the A bomb site. Sergey creeping up close to these hay bales. Not gonna get spotted just yet, and Hampus down in the pit. And hear the footsteps, they come his way, they drop the smoke to isolate the fights, but Hampus keeps this site under wraps. We're heading to overtime as NiP grind a 15th out onto the board. Inferno still has that much more to show us.
That's a huge round for Hampus. The fact that he even gets mollied as well. ENCE have been throwing that same molly whenever they go short side, and they cut him off, but it's the double setup from NiP that deals with the first man. Hampus, you know, draws him in from the corner, dropping Alu inside a boiler, and it's a great round. Yampi's now taking the AWP over Alu, and, you know, things are falling apart here, Harry. Or not falling apart per se, but, you know, everything's switching up. Everyone realizes how close this game is, and everyone's trying to find the solution, right? For NiP, it's a double AWP. That's what they've gone for. And ducking shots in the apartments is going to be Sunny. He avoids the AWP. He avoids the haircut. ENCE have already had their fair share of those. Nice grenade, though. And over from Popsky, hits Sergey to 50. Yampi with the AWP for seemingly the first time this game over Alu. And while Nork, he's going to make his work. He's going to make Alu sing as he finds him towards the top of Banana. Yampi pick up the pieces of this round now for ENCE. He's going to head back towards middle, regroup up with Ariel, who has tried to take that mid control, using pretty much all his utility, but it's all a fake, it's all a ruse. ENCE going right back towards B, and NiP are about to construct a boost by the looks of things. Popsky could go up and above. You wouldn't want to put the AWP up here ever. And Nork will set his teammate up for success. Now going back to the coffins. Now, last time ENCE saw the AWP here, it was in CT, so it's essentially the reverse now for NiP as they wait for this commitment.
And this hold at B between Nork and Plopsky has so often stood the test of time. Now they've got to do that more than ever, and they've got a second man in Rez in rotation. He's going to flash through this smoke, and that allows Plopsky to come in with this peek from up on top the boost. Rez finding another, and through the smoke, yet more damage getting done. Yampi and Sunny left up in this 2-on-5, and even more damage done from Plopsky on the boost. Sunny is going to take the advantage over Nork. Secures that kill at least, alleviates some of this pressure that's close in the site. Yampi just gets naded out of the round, and Sunny followed up onto from the banana flank. NiP going to take the first here in overtime.
Man, the use hill for NiP just continues to be top tier, not just banana control, but even in the retakes. And Alu pouring out for your homie Alu here, because he gives the AWP over, he then takes a peek that if he had the AWP, he probably would have won, but he has an AK, and so he peeks right into the AWP at top of banana and immediately gives the advantage to NiP. From the very opening of that round, ENCE were fighting a 4-on-5, and they will fall in the 31st. Lots of numbers here, and all of them in favor of the Swedes, but that can turn very quickly. Alu's requested his AWP back, and Yampi will oblige. Molly just holding T-Spawn to mid. Wait and see if NiP want to throw anything aggressive into this round. We haven't seen NiP at all fight for Khan. Not once, it feels. And Nork's baiting them in with the AWP from the corner, but you can notice Plopsky is still here at the sandbags. This is a position that ENCE have not had to deal with, and Plopsky's utility, he has loads. It might all be wasted here if he gets mollied out of this spot. I'd love to see him drop the molly as he hears them approaching. And there it is, perfect timing. It's going to keep ENCE out of this position, but now as the molly goes, ENCE are only tempted back into B. They know that NiP have less utility than prior, or than before. Oh, and a bit of a read coming in from the Swedes. They move Nork over to CT. He'll reconsider. And I don't blame him for not wanting to rotate A when ENCE go silent, right? Just run a standard setup. You don't want to throw anything away in OT. And here come ENCE.
Rez backed into a corner. He's fighting for his life now. NiP will snatch it from him. And now the option to try and take a line in through CT gets denied by Nork on this AWP. And Alu decides the best thing for him is to leave this fight alone and focus his attention elsewhere. Twist, trapped short side. Timing couldn't be worse for him. As he turns away, Pete comes in from the apartment. 2-on-2 for NiP. Still a chance in this round. And the fact that ENCE have had to go and get this bomb out of Boiler has allowed even more time for these rotations to come in. Alu going to try and snatch this away, and the no-scope through the smoke has done it. Plopsky now 1v1 as he does find Alu. Just Sunny left to beat, but Sunny holds down the line. It's 16 on the board for ENCE as they tie this up. Second round of OT going their way. I don't know, man. This could have double overtime written all over it, Hugo. This feels neck and neck.
Sunny is the bottom performer in the server, but he wins the one-on-one that keeps ENCE in this game. If they lose that round, I think this probably falls apart. But Sunny, what a crucial clutch. And he's going to save things here for ENCE. 16-16, everything to play for, everything to play with all the money in the world. It's not 10k OT, it's 16k. How we love it. Everyone can buy. Yampy's getting hit by the molly. Popsy's going to spam, but the flash is good. Yampy can play off the back of it. Popsy's stuck in the corner. There's a trade, but it's coming at a cost. All that util again gone in the banana and never needed in this round, but maybe it should have been because ENCE is still here. They won't commit. NiP sent a rotation that way, but that's exactly what ENCE want to happen as they look back towards middle. Long side smoke here will cut Twist out of this position. Drops a grenade, but ENCE are patient in their approach. That bomb storm banana is going to come and regroup in middle. Rez might want to begin a rotation right back towards this A bomb site, but of course you can never truly know on a map like Inferno. The info just isn't there for NiP. It's a gamble, but it is the right call to make.
Rez has made a little bit of noise there on that rotation, though, and that might have just spurred Ali back to go and consider banana. 45 seconds in this round, and Rez starting to aggress into top mid. At the same timing, Ariel on the angle, gonna best him. And Rez going for an info play, and even odds. And now this A site faltering for NiP. Twist left here alone. He's been pretty quiet all game, and we need him to step up now. Only one kill found. It's all onto Nork.
That's NiP giving the round away right there. They had everything in the palm of their hands. They had the read, they had 3 on A out of the 4 alive. ENCE were ready to set up, and then not only does Rez try and get information, he dies. Hampersen feels the need to get something for NiP. He pushes Apps and dies, and it leaves Nork in a clutch. Like, you know, I understand why Rez wanted the info, but that's a big mistake from NiP. They've just fed the kills to ENCE and let them take the lead at the half of OT. Nothing Nork can do with a triple crossfire inside of the site. And if NiP just held, if they just waited another 10, 15 seconds, they probably would have won that round. They've been really, really good on these defenses and just holding down for fights. But yeah, forcing them is not where they're going to find success. And you can see here, one by one, they just push into the, you know, the lion's den. And Harry, what is in the lion's den?
Lions, mate.
That's what they say, yeah. Damn right. Well, ENCE, they take a chunk out of NiP and they take the lead in OT.
NiP, they now need to go flawless if they wanted to close this out. They need 2 at least to lock in another overtime. ENCE need but 2 rounds here on this CT side. However, Nork is already making things tricky, as Nork often does. That's going to force a rotation away from this B site. ENCE had stacked 3 players here early on. And now Alu rotates away with the AWP.
Interesting there. Rez takes the AWP because he's low and then gives it back. So I imagine he's going to be the first man in. That's probably the
got
idea,
it in his
right?
hands and was like, yeah, I hate this. Like,
so, you know, Rez can AWP. That's the thing. Rez is a very capable AWP player. Has been a main AWP in the past as well. So it's, you know, it's perfectly viable. But I guess NiP want a different idea. They want a different game plan. They are going to send Rez in first.
Yeah, he'll spearhead the charge with the rest of the gang in behind him, and Sunny through the CT smoke.
Whoa.
So much damage done. Yampi as the crossfire set up. Twist with the no-scope. Flash through for Sunny. USP out. And everyone's blind. It's chaos. Twist is delivering, though. And he's kept NiP in this, but the smoke fades out with a critical miss shot that could have made all the difference. Oh dear, Ariel left in the clutch, a 1v2, but this man's got a cool head on his shoulders. Trying to creep in. It's this AWP over at Dark that could cause problems, and Twist, if there ever was a round to step up, it is that round there. He goes from not really giving us much in this game to a 3K to keep the dream alive for NiP. They take the first in the second half of OT. They tie it up with ENCE.
That was excellent for Twist. And now, right now, Rez is probably saying, whew, glad I gave you the AWP back, buddy. Because that could have gone very, very differently, and probably not as well for NiP. They have stayed in this game. ENCE still looking to take it away with a heavy banana setup. Lots of grenades going down, tagging Rez once more. The receiver of the grenades in this game, it feels, him and Sergey. Ooh. Playing with fire and concrete. Ali shooting through the wall. He's going to show this AWP B and rotate. I like that call. NiP aren't deterred, though. They aren't scared. They're going to commit. They've seen Yampi on the corner. Plopsky hits a scroll wheel, but he also gets the kill, so it's not a worry here as NiP look to commit. Alu has come right back, though. He hasn't rotated off of this site, and now NiP with a man up. They don't feel the need to rush. They can wait and see if ENCE make a mistake. Notice Nork is holding ult middle. If we see his perspective, Nork can hold everything down. He can deny any aggressive mid play from ENCE across apartments and middle. And the longer he waits here, the more info NiP have that, you know, ENCE is still stacked inside of their sites.
Alu, I guess back into a 4-on-4 and almost getting caught crossing back into CT. NiP stacked up outside of the B site, but they still have Nork over in the T apartments, just keeping this A site under wraps and leaving the option open to NiP to rotate back. But with 30 seconds left on this clock, there's not enough time for that anymore. So Nork is going to come and join up with the rest of the gang. There's still a smoke down at short side, and Sergey's aggressed there to try and get the info. If it's clear, he's not going to get that information. And now the B play comes in. Alu, 1 HP as he's tagged and forced back into the ruins. Hampus is going to lock him out of the round, and Plopsky will deal with Sunny. NiP, 4-on-2 in the post plant, and Hampus holding this angle into CT. All right, Ariel. Needed a couple more like that, though, for this round to be found. And Hampus, he's had enough. He wants this game to be over and done with. It's map and series point for NiP. Both these teams trying to dodge elimination, and NiP putting up a convincing case right now, one away from getting it done. ENCE, they're hoping to lock in a second overtime here with a victory in this round. Double AWP between Yampi and Alu. AKs across the board for NiP, not an AWP in sight. I want to do something fast here.
Plopsky has been a tank in this game, and just in this team, 30 kills right now. Nork, of course, has had his fair share of impact at 28, but Plopsky, the entries into B are sublime in that round, taking down Sunny from the back of the box, getting dinked as well, but it doesn't stop him. NiP, they might go an apps drop here, right? We said this is how ENCE got to OT in the first place, and so NiP, they're going to use that against them, a strat that they haven't even shown in this game yet since round 2. In the first half, Sergey flashed out. It's going to be a fast play out boiler. They're just going to burst short side, and Sergey not spotted. His shots go nowhere. Plopsky trades, and Nork jumps out of the apartments to save the day. It's only Ariel in the pit, and that's a great round for NiP. They speed it up, they don't stop, and they commit off the back of the kills. That was the problem with the A site for NiP earlier, but it's not a problem today. Instead, it's ENCE maybe falling short of this series in a 2-on-4.
Yampi doing damage through the smoke, but not enough to find a kill. Him and Sunny, they've got to come together now to keep this one rolling. And Sunny does get that kill. 2-on-3. And these 3 players for NiP are all tagged up. They're all a little low. Sunny caught crossing, and Yampy falls therein after. NiP, they take the series in 2. It takes them an overtime. It takes the full belt of OT. But they managed to get it over the line on Inferno.
That was such a great game. That was so competitive. I know the first map didn't feel that way, but ENCE did pull a bit of a comeback, and they really showed up on Inferno as well. And I know, like, we look at ENCE as a team, and they give the reasons of, oh, we need more time with our roster. And they've done that throughout iterations as adding teams. And while it's a fair argument, you know, people kind of laugh at it. I feel like you give this ENCE team some time, and they really can be contenders, because Yampy's looking sick in the server. Him and Ali with his double up is really exciting. But of course, it is NiP to take the win here inside of the group, saving themselves as well as they take down ENCE. So a great series, but not our last one of the day. We do have Godson versus Spirit, the culmination of Group C, coming up in just a minute. So join us after the break.
Flashbang's affected. They have got through the smoke wall here, but Chris J, he is the final boss, the bomb site.
Now Spitty and Chris J to keep Mousesports alive.
Oh, Chris! He's found 3. It's down to a 2-on-2. Chris, can he close this with an ace? Oh my God!
And they actually close this out. Boom, Chris.
Fantastic way to start, and no scopes on him himself. Absolutely saving Mousesports.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you going to want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you going to be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're going to want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
after all that, after all the missed shots, the hit shots, and everything in between, even some of the hip shots and head shots, it is NiP that secure this victory. They do it in a pretty good fashion here in overtime, at least. When we start to think about this whole series, this one really did get a little out of control there for a while, but fortunately for the Swedish side, they're able to close it down. They're able to close the shop, shut the doors, and say it's time for everybody to go home. Closing time, some might even call it. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Halvor and Jacob. Perhaps they can diagnose what is going on here. Why on earth it has to get so uncomfortably close here on the second map of Inferno?
I mean, just speaking from ENCE's point of view, that probably shouldn't have been all too close in the first place. I feel like, again, they deliver a solid T set, but one of the biggest mysteries to me throughout that game is just the reluctance to take a bit more of a chance that we saw, and this was pointed out by Hugo and Harry as well, an NiP team that was very, very one-dimensional in their I guess in their progress, you know, throughout the T side. They would focus so heavily on the B bomb side, regardless of how many, I guess, fakes or whatever pressure you want to put over towards that A bomb side, they would still end up towards B, you know, like 80 to 85% of the rounds. And at that point, I feel like if you're ENCE, you kind of need to read into it. Like, losing like 1 or 2 rounds here or there because you make a gamble of it, that's not the end of the world. And you stand to lose a lot more control of the game if you don't actually address it. And it never really felt like ENCE did that.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it was an incredibly close game throughout, especially here in Inferno. Look at the opening statistics as well. It's 18-18. Both of these lineups are doing a good job. You got to give credit to Plopsky. You got to give credit to Nork. You got to highlight those two players and say they are the difference maker from NiP. ENCE as a team didn't play bad, I feel. It was just, you know, maybe exactly what we expected. A team that can play Counter-Strike at a relatively high level, but still too soon for them to really get it going with the new Yampi iteration of ENCE. Whereas for NiP, without Plopsky, without Nork, you know, they would have been struggling today. So it's good to see the individuals, I guess, from NiP stepping up. But overall, it wasn't a beautiful game of Counter-Strike, but it was sure as hell a close one and exciting one.
It was entertaining, wasn't it, Jacob? There was a lot of cool things that happened in the server, and more so around. If we even look at the groups now, that puts ENCE down 1 and 2, which is really not probably what they had planned. Planning of Group D isn't something that we did as script writers, but Halvor, walk me through this.
Well, I mean, we do end up with Na'Vi taking the group victory. Somewhat surprising, I guess, considering how they started off. Again, losing to ENCE, who end up actually getting knocked out in the group stages. NiP managed to muster their way at the very, very tail end of it. So we're going to get to see more of the Swedes. And Vitality, who's been showing positive signs, are also going to be there slotting in at the second place. So, yeah, again, it's a stacked group. Somebody has to go out, and this time it's ENCE.
Yeah, and the one thing that we really haven't touched on at all, really, would be the fact that, yes, ENCE do get eliminated here, and NiP stay alive. There's one more team to be eliminated in between 13th and 16th place. But ultimately, we haven't even touched on the idea of ESL Pro Tour points, which is something that we will have to get into in extreme depth when we go into the playoffs. So keep that in the very back of your mind. For the time being, though, today is a NiP day, and they should be celebrating. They should be thanking some lucky stars.
They should, and I think they can be happy. We heard Plopsky say yesterday in the interview that he didn't feel comfortable. Like, he's not feeling comfortable in the new environment with Hampus as an in-game leader. He still needs they as a team need some time before they can start to feel comfortable. So the fact that he as a person comes out and performs at this level today, that's a huge kudos to him, for he's doing a good job overall. And again, NiP still playing with a new in-game leader, trying to implement some new stuff. I know ENCE is maybe not a strong opponent, but still is the team that play Counter-Strike at a relatively high level. So I think NiP going through from this, I call it the group of death, you know, because all 4 teams are more or less equal, is a positive and a healthy sign for NiP.
So, I mean, not group of death because it is Group D, but actually because you consider these teams to be that close, neck and neck almost. Halvor,
equally good, equally bad. You word it as you want.
I get it, man. I understand. Halvor, how you feeling?
Yeah. I guess in a sense it's hard to say that, you know, the correct teams went through or something to that effect, because as Jacob pointed out, these are pretty evenly squared teams. We see Na'Vi have great games. We see them have terrible games, and that can kind of be said for most of the teams in that group. I think the most constant performer was Vitality. But yeah, it's a tough one for ENCE to kind of swallow. I think they would have felt pretty good about themselves if they were to take it to a third map, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles today.
Yes, it is. It is actually that one. I do believe soon we should have a word from either the NiP or Inside, or both, if we're lucky enough. Not sure what the Finns will have to say today. I mean, we did talk to him yesterday. I wasn't sold yesterday. I don't know about you two, but I wasn't sold on the idea that ENCE was going to come out with anything more. However, we did see a little bit of life in them. Let's talk a little bit about some of the positives for ENCE.
I mean, one of the positives obviously has to be Jumpy. Again, especially throughout that Inferno game, he was doing his damnedest in terms of opening up sets, which is not necessarily something you expect to see out of a guy who's currently in a hybrid role, you know, fluctuating between opping and rifling. But I think he did that really well, and it was one of the big reasons for why ENCE actually dragged this so far, you know, making it all the way into an overtime. I think also Ariel showed signs of life as well, and that's something that's been kind of missing as of late, because Ariel is one of the really big players for this ENCE squad once they actually, you know, came onto the scene and started actually grabbing top placings. So they need more of that.
Well, let's see what more we have on our line here. We're going to be joined by Threat from the Ninjas in Pajamas, who we had the honor to speak with before, and I love to speak to him every single time. Such an eloquent man. What's up, dude? What's up, dude? All right, so what's really up is the fact that you guys got absolutely dragged by Vitality, and then you come back by today, and you do a little bit of the dragging yourself. So talk to me a little bit about the game plan after getting beat up by Vitality and then going to play ENCE.
I think there's a combination of playing maybe too much and also like obviously changing a player and having too little time to adapt. I think we're getting more comfortable now, and I think we're more accepting that our technical or tactical level won't be the same for like a couple of weeks at least, maybe a month. And as we accepted that, we dare to do more all-in plays in game, and that really worked this match.
So, 2-3 weeks ago, we had a little interview where you told me about some of the inner workings of NiP. One of the points you brought up was that the communication and the team felt stressed pretty early on when you got off to a bad start. Has that changed now that you brought in Hampus, or is it still one of the areas you're working on getting better?
I think it's better with Hampus now. He's a very calm player. He is a bit inexperienced playing the top teams, and you can still notice that when we get close to winning, we get kind of stressed and we don't take the same risk at the same when we're close to losing. So I think that's definitely something we can improve on, but I think we just need more experience playing the top teams.
We talked to Plopsky yesterday, and he said that obviously that he's been having a good year so far. We acknowledge that, but he also said that he doesn't really feel comfortable just yet. Is there anything in particular you're doing to make him feel comfortable at the moment? Because he has been by far your most consistent and best performing player as of late.
Obviously, Plopsky is the star player of our team. He is the youngest player. I think in just a few years, probably the best player in Sweden, maybe together with Brolin. So we're trying to move him around. Sometimes you want him to have the star position. Sometimes I want him on the really hard positions because he's the one that has the best aim in our team currently. So it is something we think about, but at the same time, I'm trying not to over-adapt.
So, Threat, let me ask you this. We've talked to you in the past about working in tandem with your IGL and, you know, what the whole concept there was. And now, you know, for the time being, you're able to call within the game itself. How much do you find yourself doing that?
It depends. If we're winning and everything's just working, it was Lecro and now it's Hampus. However, it's more of a case where I can take like timeouts all the time. And if I notice that someone gets really uncomfortable with calling, I can just take over. So we have the luxury of doing that. However, I'm trying not to intervene as much as I can. I really want the IGL to have its own style. I can sort of say like, okay, you're objectively wrong. We shouldn't. They actually have an eco now. Like I can correct them in that way, but I don't want to correct them in the way where they think a call is better than another.
Right. You don't want to undermine him, so to say. You don't want to just kind of show that, hey, I'm Threat and this is the IGL, but I seemingly, you know, might know better or something like that. It might create a weird rift. I can understand that. Halvor, do you have anything for the man?
Yeah, no, I'm just curious about what kind of time frame you guys are putting on, I guess, the transition, because obviously now there's a big opportunity for you as a coach and obviously a former in-game leader to kind of mold Hampus and get him into not necessarily your specific mindset, but obviously like to be a functioning in-game leader. So what kind of time frame have you guys put on how much involved you're going to be? Like, is it going to be within a month? You're letting him kind of loose on his own. You're letting go of the leash and seeing what happens, or are we looking for you guys to extend that period as long as possible until you have to start attending LAN tournaments again?
Well, in practice, I'm trying already to give him all the control he can get. I don't try to intervene at all. I want them to, like, if they were missing information, they can be punished for it. It's fine. Then they will actually learn, right? So I think we're going to go all in with Hampus now. He's going to be the IGL, both in practice and official games, obviously. Sometimes I can take over, sort of like I know Astralis is doing sometimes with Sonic, just to relieve some pressure from him. But otherwise, I'm working really hard with him. We have sessions every day. It's going to work out great.
So that's interesting. You said Astralis, and guess what? I've got a little bit of a present for you, Threat. You get to play them in the brackets, and that's going to be on June the 9th at around 2 p.m. my time. How do you feel about playing Astralis in their current form?
I think it's going to be weird, right? I mean, they're changing players all the time. We played them in practice, and they're still a really strong team. They still have the fundamentals, right? They still have the core of the Dupree and Device. Now they actually did lose to Zipex, but I think it's going to be a hard game, but it's obviously going to be way easier than playing them just a month ago.
Hey, Threat, I'm going to let you go here, but I would like you to speak some Swedish to those out there, the Swedes back home that are watching, even in production, because you know they can all understand you too. So if you don't mind, speaking some of that goodness.
Jag vill tacka alla NiP-fans som kollar där ute. Jag vet att det kan vara lite tufft just nu. Resultatet kommer vara lite upp och ner, men ha lite tålamod så kommer vi komma ikapp snart.
Yes, vi sitter här och väntar spela lite CSGO. Tack, and I will see you later. Thank you so much, Threat. Cool. Finally got to use my best Swedish, and that's the best I had. So I'm sorry if it didn't suffice. But it is good to hear Threat, I guess, talk about his team in that light, rather than being frustrated, saying, hey, you know what? We're going to try to do this with the training wheels off. We're going to see what Hampus can do with this team by himself.
That's been the case for, sorry, Helvet, that's been the case for quite some time. I think NiP has gotten better as of lately, you know, both with Lekro and now also with Hampus. So I think NiP is on the right track right now.
Yeah, he's like the supportive dad, you know, who just wants to see his kids do as well as possible. So, you know, if for that to happen and for them to not be completely sheltered and cuddled, you know, you need to let them fall. You need to let them scrub their knees every now and again. So I like the approach. I think that's, again, something both sides of this, you know, both coach and players need to be open for that. Yeah, we're going to mess up and it's going to be painful at times, but it's a learning experience.
Yeah, and it goes by the ancient proverb. It's something like, I get knocked down, but I got up again. I'm never going to get left down. Yeah, anyway, we'll figure that one out in due time. We're actually going to speak to ENCE now, I think is more important than us trying to put together old songs. I think that ENCE is going to have something to say on the backside of what was a defeat here to the Ninjas in Pajamas. Now, again, ENCE also suffering a little bit here in terms of, I guess, just an overall look, an overall feel of the ENCE that we knew and grew to love under Alexi B. I still feel like there's a little bit of a shadow of that. And perhaps we'll get to hear some of that from the losing side, I'll call it. It'll be the ENCE formation, and it'll be Ariel joining us. Hey, dude, what's up?
Hey, hello.
Tough day in the office, my friend.
Yeah, it was.
So for you guys, obviously you had the opportunity to make it through the group stage here, and it falls apart towards the very end of it. What do you guys just immediately after the game think you can point to as to why Inferno, for example, slipped away?
It was pretty close, and I think we played it much better than on train. But some individual plays, I think, was crucial, and they went their way this time, and that's why they managed to win it.
Ariel, you as an individual had a good period last year where I think you were a big part of the success ENCE had. Ever since you, according to me at least, haven't been playing at the same level, have your role changed within ENCE, or is it just for you a rocky period, so to speak?
My role has changed as well. Like, ever since Champion joined, I'm taking the spots of X7 in most of the maps. Let's say Mirage and Nuke, I'm playing X7 spots on CT side, and T side I'm always going first if we execute somewhere. But also I'm having a rocky period. I'm not as good as I was like a year ago, and then I don't know what is the problem exactly. I'm trying to do everything to like be as good as I was back then, but I don't know.
Sure, and that's all you can do, I guess. Just quickly before I'll ask you a question here, the new role you're talking about, is that one that you think you fit into, or is it more like you have to take the role because nobody else on the team is either willing or can do it?
It's not my role exactly. Like, I'm not as good as those roles I can be like in other roles, but our team has so many good players they are better than me at the moment at least. So I'm happy to take those positions so my teammates can like be in comfortable positions and frag.
All right.
No, so you speak about the fact that you've been going through a bit of a rocky period as an individual player, and that can be said for a couple of the guys on your team. Sunny comes to mind as someone who hasn't necessarily been playing up to the level that we know he can, and potentially Sergey as well. So do you guys have talks within the team in terms of how you can fix it as individuals, or is that more something that's separated, something you guys think about on your own?
A little bit we like focus it as a team, but mostly myself, I'm pretty much doing it all by myself or talking to my psychologist or something, but not with team members that much. So I think we need to fix that and start speaking more, so it may help.
Do you feel a little added pressure as a player underneath the ENCE banner, underneath the ENCE flag, as roster changes are starting to happen, and not just within ENCE, but I guess all around? I mean, when we look around, we got Astralis making moves, FaZe Clan making moves. Do you feel pressure as a player now that a lot of roster moves are happening?
I don't think like our teammates they're gonna kick me, but I feel pressure like because I'm not playing as I used to play, and it really tilts me because it makes me wanna like quit if I'm not playing well. So it really gets on my nerves when I'm not playing good, and that makes me nervous playing all the time because I'm not braver.
That's something everyone can relate to as a player. It's all about just keep pounding, keep practicing, and at some point it'll change for you. So keep on working on your deathmatch, keep on working on the team, and I'm sure it'll change anytime soon.
That's what they say.
That's what they do say. Ariel, I think now would be a pretty crucial time for you to address the Finns. You okay with that?
Yeah, sure. In Finnish?
Yeah, go for it.
No, tänään ei tullut nyt voittoa, mutta odotaan sitten Blastis vähän parempaa settiä.
There you have it.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, short and sweet. And obviously, Ariel, commiserations with you. I know today wasn't the easiest of days, but I promise you that you have a bright future ahead of you, and we will be talking to you in the near future.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ariel. So I felt that one right in my heart. What about you guys?
Yeah. I mean, he's being honest, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of refreshing. I'm sorry, Trace. No, you're really
right.
Refreshing because again, like a lot of people can jabber off the standard peers as, tough period, etc. But he actually goes into more of the points that, it's the pressure that's added on makes you nervous. That affects the way you play, and it's if you don't necessarily see the light at the end of the tunnel in terms of how you're going to get out of that slump, it can be a bit of a dark vortex that you get stuck in. So. I think it's good to be open about it again, and I think it's something that also can help you reflect on how to move forward as well. So I really appreciate the fact that he's open about it.
Yeah, how open he was right there is a rare glimpse. Not even to meme on the fact that somehow the Finns don't have emotion stuff. That was raw. That was about as real as you can get it. And then as long as I've been doing stuff around a camera, that is about as real as it comes right there. Let's go ahead and continue down this vortex that you talk about, though, and that being Group D. In fact, this Group D is sort of wrapped up, isn't it? Right? I mean, we've almost got the brackets at this point, if I even really dare to say. We know what the playoffs are going to begin to look like. Let's start with Group D, though.
Yeah, and what a group it was. I named it the group of death, and not necessarily in the sense that the best team was in this group, but the fact that all four teams had a realistic chance of going through. I think it kind of went as we expected. Navi still, Navi's a team that they play at a high level, and they do that because you have Simple and Electronic on the lineup. So if they decide to show up on the server, you're going to lose if Navi want to win. Apart from that, it could have gone either way, and I'm happy to see that both NiP and Vitality go through as well, because I think they were the better playing teams compared to ENCE. So we got the teams we wanted to off the playoff.
Well, check this out, though, because we haven't unveiled this one just yet, so now's the perfect time. If you keep your eyes on HLTV.org, you'll know what this kind of looks like. But obviously, with NiP winning here, they go into the lower bracket round of one with Astralis. Merry Christmas, ninjas in pajamas. Aside from that, Vitality joining them down there, playing a heroic in their first round, and of course, those are BO3s. Now, you're right. We look at the top of this bracket, the upper bracket even, G2, Navi, big FaZe Clan, having already secured that positioning, and they don't look to sacrifice any of that anytime soon. But of course, those matches will be in the future. They're not going to be today. They're not going to be tomorrow. In fact, they're going to be on the 8th of June. So that's something to set your calendars for as we look at the European playoff bracket, guys. What do you think?
It looks like a pretty fiery bracket. Obviously, we're going to find out who Mad Lions and Complexity go up against once we've concluded Group C as well. I know it's that Complexity will be going up against the third placing team in Group C, and Mad Lion gets to take on the second place in that group. So overall, it looks like a fiery bracket right from the get-go. I think there's not necessarily any easy draws in that sense. NiP, sure, they're going up against an Astralis that's going through some turmoil, but still not an easy team to play against. I'm really looking forward to the Heroic Vitality matchup as well, because I think Heroic has been surprisingly good for such a new team. So yeah, tons of Counter-Strike to really feast your eyes on.
Yes, and our next matchup actually should be starting sooner rather than later. It's going to be Lily versus Sarah right here. No, I'm kidding. It's not going to be any of that. What it is going to be is Godsent versus Spirit over here for the DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. We're going to go to a break. We're going to switch out some faces, and then we will be right back with the last day of groups here for the DreamHack Masters Spring 2020.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you going to want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you going to be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're going to want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
Every little wiggle and jiggle gets me a little bit more scared. Now they're going to move in. Brokey with the first contact. The lineup. Idis Balance gets one. He doubles it. A second. Idis Balance shutting it down. He may have been quiet on the CT side, but that is the round.
Brolin trying to tap him down, really given an angle and trying to spearhead this retake, looking for Nico and a convincing tap there to find him. See if they can buzz their way back in to this retake. They swing, they peek, and Brolin shuts them down the first time around. A stellar pistol from Brolin.
Takes a peek, Ariel deals with him. The team flash from ZywOo not really working in. Molly won't stop the park either. It'll put Sergey out, and oh no, that is despicable from ZywOo.
I really like the points that Potter were making, praising Vanity for his input, for his impact on the team. Zeppa, are you kidding me? He's gotten himself 2 kills, a follow-up gush. Oh my goodness, he's gunning for the ace and he takes it! What an incredible play from Zeppa!
Oh no, that is not what you want if you're FaZe player. Head in the hands for Brokey here, man down off.
Down low, we're looking for a bit of a hero in this round for Team Spirit. 16-year-old Magix, well, he certainly looks like he could be the hero. 4 kills in the round.
cash, a little sour mash to meet the girl of my dreams. You're like a beauty queen from a magazine. I gotta take my chance. That door swing open wide, and here she comes. Everybody turns their head. The band just don't stop dead. She's crazy, beautiful. Oh, oh, oh. She's crazy, beautiful, and it's driving me wild. She's crazy, beautiful. Oh, oh, oh. I can't get that picture out of my head. She's crazy, beautiful. Emerald green eyes and a perfect smile. She sure can draw a crowd. Sweet as champagne, it's making me insane. It shouldn't be allowed. Yeah, but I'd do anything. I'd even buy a ring if I got the chance. Her favorite song came on, and here she comes. Everybody turns their head. The band just don't stop dead. She's crazy, beautiful. Oh, oh, oh. She's crazy, beautiful, and it's driving me wild. She's crazy, beautiful. Oh, oh, oh. I can't get that picture out of my head. 'Cause she's crazy, beautiful. Crazy, beautiful. Yeah. Oh. Everybody turns their head. The band just don't stop dead. She lights it up like gasoline. Crazy beautiful, you know what I mean. She lights it up like gasoline. And she's the hottest damn thing. She's crazy, beautiful. Oh, oh, oh. She's crazy, beautiful, and it's driving me wild. She's crazy, beautiful. Oh, oh, oh. I can't get that picture out of my head. 'Cause she's crazy, beautiful. Oh, yeah. To say, so I have to break this down. You say that I'm a fool now, and you're never gonna leave me. You sound just like your mother. At least we're talking to each other. Don't give it up, don't let it go. You got to know it's alright. feels right. You gotta get it out. You wanna lose yourself in time. So girl, just let it out. You said it once, not twice. You don't wanna wear it out. 'Cause you are one of a kind. How else would I know? Your love, your way, I cannot describe it. Girl, you got me lost for words. Oh, I got a lot to learn. And I want you to stay. Don't wanna throw you no deuces. Yeah, just wanna show you the truth, baby. No lie, no lie. I'll go to the edge and back again 100 times. Still can't describe. Oh, there's no similar. Nothing to compare. Oh, girl, no similar. Nothing to compare. I swear I don't need the answers, baby. I don't wanna understand it. No, I know. Can't think of a similar. You ain't like that or like this. If I shoot my shot, then probably I miss. If I lose that love, then probably I switch. If I see it ain't broke, then why try and fix it? I ain't tryna interfere on the interstate. I see love in the mirror, better concentrate. If it's real, then it's near, and it's never fake. It's never fake. Talking about your love, your wave. I'm never undecided. Got me running out of words to say. Man, I feel I never learned a day. Still, I just want you to stay. Don't wanna throw you no deuces. Yeah, just wanna show you the truth, baby. No lie. I'll go to the edge and back again 100 times. Still can't describe. Oh, there's no similar. Nothing to compare. Oh, girl, no similar. Nothing to compare. I swear I don't need the answers, baby. I don't wanna understand it. All I know. Can't think of a similar. Oh, there's no similar. Nothing to compare. Oh, girl, no similar. Nothing to compare. I swear I don't need the answers, baby. I don't wanna understand it. All I know. Can't think of a similar. Similar. Can't think of no similar. Never let them get you down. The ones who can't imagine who you really are. Oh, you really don't want them around. They can't see the truth, no. Baby, we belong among the highest stars. I can't see what you're gonna do. Oh, try to lean down with me, 'cause you know I believe we can fly where the eagles go to be free. We can step out tonight on the air that we breathe. We can fly where the eagles go to be free. Never gonna let you go. Now that you and I have flown into the sun. Oh, we're bathing in the afterglow. Here we are together on the journey of our lives. The future has begun, and I know what we're gonna do. Oh, try to lean down with me, 'cause you know I believe we can fly where the eagles go to be free. We can step out tonight on the air that we breathe.
It's a big match to define this group. We've got Godsend. They are in their last chance here, and they must grab a win if they want to make playoffs. But they need to take down Team Spirit, who have been out of action for just a little bit. But Spirit, at this point, they should probably be top of their group. And I guess we got to look at this with a lot of kind of craziness that went on here. And also, can Spirit even show up in the way that we first saw them do it with a few days break? Hopefully they've been able to bring all their issues solved. I've got Potter and Pimp to discuss all of this through. And this group, right, this is a madness because FaZe Clan, they are very lucky to be in the position they're in.
I would say so. I mean, Spirit and FaZe Clan, that matchup, you know, with Mibr crashing out of the round at 14-14 on Dust 2, that was a good game, and I would agree with you, James, there. I think Spirit could have potentially won that game, could have potentially found themselves in a position where they could secure the #1 spot of Group C today. That being said, though, I think FaZe Clan played well, they deserve it, and today I think we have a game between two teams who are, I'd say, desperate for success, right? Spirit go into this match with a minor thought, you know, where they think to themselves, this is our chance of making it far into a major tournament, you know, one of the biggest tournaments out there. Was for Godsend, they're playing with a new player. Like, it's not like playing without pressure, but of course, getting off to a good start with your new signing is a high priority for Godsend.
I think desperate for success is such a perfect description to put this. I think a lot of the Twitch chat can even agree that these Spirit guys, a lot of these individual players coming into this tournament, sure, there was a lot of rumors, sure, there was a lot of hope, but man, in the way that they delivered, even going on, Jacob just mentioned that Dust 2 14-14, but even going on to Nuke, having 2 new players. If you look at that match page history, there's 7 players in that series for these Spirit guys. So that just goes to show kind of the struggles that they faced within that series. But coming out and even making it into OT on that Nuke and just barely losing out. I mean, it was such a dramatic day for these Spirit guys, and I'm just hopeful that they can overcome that as new youngsters and being so desperate for that sort of success and show us just exciting Counter-Strike today.
And I think that's definitely what we're going to get from these Spirit guys, because one thing I'm going to look at here is the resilience they had. They not only managed to make it competitive with the normal lineup, but even with having these issues, it didn't affect their mentality. And that to me says, no matter which team they go up against, no matter how they're playing, they're still going to be able to deliver to the standard we expect. Now, we speak about Mir and what he was able to offer, but I disbalance. This guy was pulling them through on Nuke, kicking and screaming last time around.
He's really, really good. I think he's a gem within the scene over there. I think Simple said it himself when he's looking at demos to view from you know, AWP colleagues. He could look at an iDisbalance demo and learn stuff. I think this kid comes in with a fresh mind for Counter-Strike. He comes in with no, you know, he's not scared of doing his own thing, I'd say, and I think that's a refreshing way of coming into the Counter-Strike global offensive scene. I remember him seeing the very first time in. What was it called? You know, there was some show DreamHack produced it in Stockholm. You know, Astralis Road to whatever it was. You know, a talent tournament sort of. And he was in there all of a sudden. He was doing a good job, and I had no idea who that kid was back then. And ever since, his career and his level of play just skyrocketed. And I think, as Christine said, that's a guy that is desperate for success because he has the level to be up there with the very best. So getting to show that in a DreamHack Masters tournament, perfect platform for him.
And what I like here especially, right, we're going to look at Chopper in a bit more detail, because not only is he in-game leading, but he is leading by example for these guys. He's been able to deal with all the changes, but he's actually had a good level of performance himself, which often lacks for our in-game leaders.
Definitely so. You know, Chopper, he's reminding me a lot about Azure on 100 Thieves. We've seen how much success Azure has had over there. And Chopper, he's not going to be at the top of the leaderboard. He's not going to have those highlight flicks that we can expect from Mir and iDisbalance. But Chopper's got something else. He's got that spacing in mind. He's got that map control in mind. And you can absolutely see it across all the maps that these Spirit guys play. I mean, he's always just going for more space, going for more control. And all that control that he's able to garner, he's communicating it over to his teammates. And you can actually see the movement across the map anytime Chopper finds those kinds of advantages. So he's certainly an integral piece to the Spirit's success so far.
Well, Spirit have been on a wild ride already. It's their final game, and I want to see what they thought of everything that's going on ahead of this game.
Our 2 last game versus Godsend make us a lot better. So they tell us our mistakes, our bad plays, individual team plays, and we fix it after that game. The second one, I mean, when we qualify for this tournament. And I think it worked pretty well, so we can say thanks for them. And now we will face them again in that last match, and I hope we will show our best.
In hot pursuit with his AK-47. Does he check the angle? Does he get baited out? He does. It's an even 1-for-1. He may very well switch across to an assault rifle actually on the approach, because Crystal certainly not the... This would be a huge clutch and a very pivotal, important moment in this match. Mia, 3 kills already to his name. The timing not favouring him. Typical position that you would hide, and the grenade is in play. Oh, it doesn't kill Mia. He's only got 6 HP left. How's that nade not finished him off?
I don't personally like revenge, but I think we need to win this game, and it's gonna be important for us.
Now, last time these two teams faced off against each other in a best of 3, it was Godsent that may have been able to take the win. But even though it was only a month ago, this is a very different spirit, and they've shown it against some of the best. I feel like even though he doesn't want to talk about revenge, there's definitely going to be a huge chance for them to get it right here.
I think so.
And it's a...
Yeah, go on, Chris, go on.
I was gonna mention it's a very different spirit, a much more eager looking spirit, but it's also a very different Godsent as well. We have to remember Michaelelli, he's just recently left this roster, Farley taking his spot. In that series that they won, Michaelelli was on that squad, and they've been together for almost a year. So the synergy on Godsent is a little different now. Farley, he brings a different style to this Godsent side of things.
And that's a real big difference.
That's a real big difference. I think Farley is a great addition. When you look towards that lineup, when you look towards the players they have to work with, I think both Christina and I can agree pretty quickly that there's a lot of talent within this squad. And there's also a decent amount of experience. So bringing in a new kid who has that hunger, sort of like Idis Balance on the spirit side of the things. He has the skill set, he has the hunger, he has the vision for Counter-Strike, and he's willing to learn. Basically, that's every in-game leader's wet dream, to get a player that has the skill set, has the skill ceiling at a very high level, and then he's willing to learn and fit into a team as well. I think personally that Farley is going to be a great player for the future, and I think he could be fitting himself in a role in Godsent that's going to, facilitate him to play at a maybe even higher level than his, skill ceiling is at right now.
And just look at what they've been able to do already, right, with having him on the team. They've only had a little bit of time to play with him, but they've put up some good enough results. Okay, they haven't grabbed the wins that they needed, like the games against Fnatic and FaZe, but it has been impressive that he's been able to fit so well into the team already. But some of the other players we need to look at, right, it's the likes of Sticko in there, who's acting in that supportive role, setting up his players very well. And then you have Madden, who we need to see him really come online here, I think, if they are in order to try and really take a battle head-to-head against Spirit.
I have to agree with you. We need to see a little bit more coming out of Madden. Madden was the star of this team for the past, all of 2020, in fact. But since Michaelelli's departure, I've noticed in the last 2 series, he's been struggling a little. I don't want to say struggling. He's been doing his job and a damn good job at it, but I think we need a little bit more, and that's what we've come to expect from a player like Madden. So hopefully, he's not sacrificing too much to make Farley as comfortable as he can, and hopefully this Godsent guys, the amount of potential that they have, hopefully we see a little bit more of it today.
Well, Godsent should certainly be confident going into this game, considering the previous result, but let's hear from the team itself.
I definitely think we are favored in the matchup against Team Spirit. I think we're pretty comfortable. We've been winning maps against them that we usually lose against even lower tier teams. So there's something about their playstyle that just fit us and that they can't really adapt to us.
Oh no, he's playing sneaky. He's gonna catch him in the vents! Oh, Dean, he's done so much damage! Now moving to the ramp, he's gonna know choppers around this area with the op. He spots him on the left, and he's got him as well! Magic's creeping forward, he's coming down the stairs. There's no way he suspects him. Oh, he's gonna check the angle, but the shot for
We are trying to practice every day with Farlik, but obviously you cannot go over everything. When it comes to individual performances, even with Farlig, we're a stronger team. We should win quite easily, even 2-0 if everything goes well and we just hit our shots and we do correct veto.
He's talking about the correct veto coming in there, but I do love the confidence we're hearing coming out of him. Yes, they had the previous win, but it's the maps when it comes down to where Godsent seem to think that's where they're going to have an advantage in it. For me, though, right, Sticko's such an interesting player because he was at such a high point in mouse sports. He comes into Godsent, he's part of this project as they grow up, and he still has all of this element of that he can still be a great player. He's very experienced, but it's the way he backs up his team members that I really respect.
he's a player that has gone through a lot on a personal level as well. You know, having to move from Europe to North America, play for Cloud9. I think no matter how well you do on a certain team, I think people in the Twitch chat and people in the community sometimes forget what it does for a person as well. How much you involve as a personality. You know, how much more mature you are when you come back from such a stay. I can relate to it myself from my time in Liquid. So no matter what, I think Stuku as a player and as a person has involved a lot. And as you said, he's playing one of his best years so far. He's actually producing some stats on the server that we haven't seen in quite some time for Stuku. The confidence you're talking about here as well. He expects them to win 2-0 if they get it together. And that, you know, I like to hear it. You see a lot of teams saying, maybe we can win. Not sure. Stuku, he believes in this team if they actually play well.
Well, last time around, they played Inferno, Overpass, and Dust 2. So let's get into the veto and see if things are going to change here, because I definitely think the Spirit, if they could get Nuke in there, they might like that, showing us how hot they were last time around.
Yeah, definitely so. And for Spirit side of things, I mean, as far as the win percentage goes, they've got every advantage besides that Vertigo coming into this. So I think they're going to be comfortable with anything. And there we go. Godsent coming out and picking Nuke. I mean, they've got a lot of information on these Spirit guys. Yeah. They barely missed out and lost versus FaZe on that map. And I'm just excited to see this Train. Balance showed us some funky, amazing plays on Train the last time around. So I'm expecting a little bit more of that as well from him.
You know what's funny when you look? Sorry, just you know, when you look at these maps, right? You see a team like Spirit, you see a team like Guts, and you think to yourself, maps like Dust 2, Mirage, maybe Inferno for a third. You know, those are maps that suit, you know, those second-tier teams where it doesn't necessarily have to be all about the strats, all about the tactical aspects. But both of these teams are trying to play smart Counter-Strike. Both of these teams are trying to play the more strat-heavy maps, and you see that in the veto. You're going to see Train, strat-heavy map. You're going to see Nuke, very strat-heavy and rotation-based map. It's great to see some of these, you know, second-tier teams there said, you know, actually adopt that style and maybe, you know, try to elevate themselves as teams and as players instead of just always playing Mirage, Dust 2 and so forth.
Now, the Inferno one for me becomes very interesting as the decider, because that was actually the one that Spirit ended up winning last time these two faced off against each other. And then it was the bounce back needed from Godsent in order to take the win. So looking at this, guys, I want to get your early thoughts on it. Did you kind of get thrown by the curveball of it, especially with Godsent picking you?
No, I think the maps were to be expected here. Now, as far as making my prediction here, this is a tough one, man. This is so tough just because Stico, he's such a stud. We've been kind of talking about and up-talking him, but he's just a solid all-around player. He's the full package, right? So I'm expecting him to come out and kind of just show us exactly what he's made of. But I got to go with Spirit. Here. I think they've got what it takes to finally overcome not losing to Godsent, because head-to-head wise, they've been getting kind of bullied by the Godsent side of things. But I'm going with Spirit here.
Well, before we get any further with the predictions, what I want to make sure is that we get Twitch chat involved as well, and then we'll come back through it all and get the final mark on the coffin for it all. Because Twitch chat, you guys last time even made Pimp happy by agreeing with him and getting it the right way. Can you do it this time around? We'll have to wait and see. Godsent versus Spirit is coming up after the break. You guys know how to vote for it, and we'll see you after the break.
Flashbang's affected. They have got through the smoke wall here, but Chris J, he is the final boss of the bomb site.
Now Spitty and Chris J to keep Mousesports alive.
Oh, Chris! He's found 3. It's down to a 2-on-2. Chris, can he close this with an ace? Oh my God!
Can they actually close this out? Boom, Chris.
Fantastic way to start, and no scopes on him himself. Absolutely saving Mousesports.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you gonna want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you gonna be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're gonna want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
you see.